everybody.
It's great that we're all so on point together.
Super legit.
Hello and welcome to the channel Small Way Inc.
Yeah, boy.
Hey. We're hosting today. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yeah.
So, tis I, Max, or Nameless Creativity as well.
Oh
I
my
literally
God.
muted my phone. I
Oh
don't know.
my God.
I don't know
Did
how
you?
and when that happened.
Amateur hour.
But that's okay. Technically, it was your fault because you gave me the notification.
You're
That's
welcome.
okay. But yeah, it is Nameless Creativity. And then we have Small Way Inc., I'll just say, because that's where he streams.
There you
And
go.
Hashtag
Scarfonymous,
Small
all
Way Inc.
The man
Scarfonymous.
himself.
And then we have the lovely Court over there.
FTW.
She FTWs
for the
at
winning,
times.
for the winning. And here's Sarango.
She is for
Thanks for the
winning.
introduction.
Yeah, so today's podcast is going to be kind of the same and kind of different because it's going to be on our channel.
It's just gonna be whatever the hell we want.
It's new, you know,
We
trying
run
something
this
new,
bitch.
trying something different. Cool. So, oh God,
I
have
think
my
at the
keys
end,
in
if
my
we're
lap. I
still
need to stop
feeling
playing
like
with them.
going, we could just stream a Jackbox game really quick.
Okay, what's
Okay, we're killing our sound guy here.
Oh,
Poor
okay.
sound guy over here
There
is
you
just getting
go.
absolutely
Is
Well,
that
dis-
what
thanks
you-
for hosting.
how did that go through on your end?
Ooh.
Our poor sound guy's had.
Yeah, do you want
He's
me
had
to-
two
you want me to
lethal
put
and
Kicking
now
the
three
shit out of his
lethal
that it's-
eardrums.
That it's
My
only.
God.
His ears
Yeah, I
are
mean,
going to be
yeah.
absolutely
figured.
decimated by the end of the day.
Well, already starting
For
out with some
safety's sakes, we're gonna not go
solid
direct here.
tomfoolery. Excellent, excellent. So, I thought that we would get started with a simple question, but like a good warm up. Answer in whatever order you would like. We can start with you.
We don't have our talking
Sure.
sword.
We don't have a talking sword.
We have many swords to choose from, but I think most of them are sharp.
I like sharp stuff, man.
I mean,
Yeah.
sharp like
Yeah,
my wit.
That's fine. You're hosting. Just
Cool. So I'll get you to go
Direct.
first then, since you think I'm so funny.
You're
yeah.
pointing at a thing, and I'm not sure what you're pointing at.
Pikachu?
Pointing at the goddamn sword.
Dagger.
Oh, the big
We don't
sword.
particularly need the sands of
Hashtag
time currently.
yeah.
Dagger.
Yes.
Yes.
True.
For
Exactly.
For
You
safety.
can't cut on. If you have no. Here's the thing: you have to look at the blade, and that way you can't hurt yourself.
Yeah,
so
you have to be
expose
aware.
it to yourself and really be
Well,
careful
You gotta
Knowledge-
place
no-
it up
Keep it
to your
in sight.
neck. That way you have full control at
and
all
run
times.
around. Exactly.
you put
if
it in
somebody
your
wants
mouth.
to cut your
That's
throat
what
with the
the guy in
blade,
the
it's
video
already
game
there and it's
does.
in your hand. Obviously, it's
But
under your
sorry,
control.
Max, you're asking a question.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, how different do you think you have become comparing your current self to the you in your first DAGG vlog?
This would be a good time to insert our DAG vlogs if we were like any kind of prepared. If you guys are actually interested, go check out our first DAG vlogs and then compare what we seem
True.
like.
Oh yeah.
'Cause
Don't
Why
it's-
look
not?
at any of the early
Please.
ones because I totally talk shit about everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
I
would
mean-
all know.
Guys, dig it up. We'll have a troll war. It's
Yeah,
totally fine.
We're at 84, so we're about 3 months in. So that's
Yeah, so
Yeah,
check
we're-
it out. 84 vlogs from each of us, and then also 50
Jesus.
for our old spearhead. That we
no.
have
He'll
now
be at
speared.
36, but he missed, so I think he's at the same as us now.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope. Let's
Yeah.
hope. You
He'll
know,
get
who
there.
knows?
I wonder if we'll
He
get
might
like.
have befriended trees and now is never coming back
I
to us.
know.
He
That's
is Groot.
worst case
for the best.
scenario.
He's
the best.
Groot.
I feel like that's a good occupation to have. Like, how do you rep yourself? Like, what is your special talent? I am Groot. Cool. Now that
I
we've covered that,
Am
you're a fucking
Groot.
plant.
Actually, I read this thing, and
Mark,
it
what are you
was a
doing?
professor told his students to go ahead and write a resume as though they were a superhero,
Oh,
and
I've
someone
seen
took
that.
the opportunity to write it as I am Groot.
That's excellent.
And
What's-
everything
what's
is I am
that?
Groot, because we know how Groot talks.
Yeah.
Pathetic. It's pathetic.
That's
Oh,
it.
No. I just made it custom so that it was like a little bit longer, so it was able to get more people.
Fascinating.
You know? I usually have it at default, but what are you gonna do?
Groundbreaking.
Why is it?
As for the question at hand,
Sweet, yeah.
how have I changed since the beginning vlogs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's new? What's different? What's not different, you know?
What is not different? My procrastination.
Hey. Procrastination.
Yes, I am part of the procrastination,
Same dude.
and it has been quite an adventure. I fucking hate it, but there's nothing I can do about it. So like, I just accept it as who I am. You know,
Are you just like a lot more aware of it now? Like you're.
I
like,
own that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but every one of my vlogs, I'm like, local procrastinator here. What's
Yeah.
going on?
No.
If you
really?
claim it as
Every
an identity,
no
then
shit.
negative.
It's only been happening for like
Yeah.
every month forever.
Just all.
Ooh.
I feel like I've changed in a way that I hadn't expected. I'm more open to being weird, zany, and do whatever I think is best to push forward, no matter how I feel about the situation. But I feel the same as I was before, if that makes any sense. I'm just like, I feel like the same person, but I'm opening everybody up to more of who I am on the inside.
Yeah, you're a more heightened person as yourself. You're more
Yes.
your comfortable
I am
self.
more me than I've ever been, and I'm letting you all know.
Unapologetically myself.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Well put, Alan.
Thank
Wham.
you. I watch a lot of cheesy shit.
I can tell.
Incredible. All right, bring it over to you. Why not?
Cool. Thank
Let's
you. Ooh. So just looking at like my old problems and looking at my new current problems, it's really funny. When we started out, I had a job I thought was going to be legit. I was super secure in my situation.
Oh, yeah, wow.
And then I just randomly fell into a complete shithole of my job is horrible, which it was, but that was people's fault.
Yeah, fuck people.
Yeah, fuck
Truth.
people.
Yeah.
It's hard not to.
people.
Then like got really tired of
Fuck
my
dogs.
house. Streaming's been going really well actually, so that's all kind of morphed. A lot of things and my priorities have shifted. And it's just the thing, your life changes so like crazily in a 3-month span, and that's what I'm realizing.
True.
So that's the most different, is the fact that it's not different that I'm changing, but my awareness of how much I change month to month, day to day
Yeah.
is very interesting.
It's very apparent, isn't it?
Yeah.
When it's all documented.
When you say each day how you're feeling and what you're thinking about, then
Yeah.
you realize like I don't care about that thing like a month ago I really cared about, or something like that. It's weird how that.
Yeah.
And then like listening to other people's perspectives, like your what if thing really messed with me, because I was trying so hard to think what is like, do I ever think that ever? And I was trying to be like, what if
You're
this
like,
happened?
no.
And like I don't think what if, I think about situations to like a unrealistically long period of time, but for fun it's not like because the way you say it's like, what if this happens? I've never done that. It's always just like I do this and then this could happen and this could happen, and then it's like a daydream and it goes away. It's never like serious like gotta think about my thing.
Yeah.
So just when you guys have ways you feel or things you talk about, I just take a moment to be like, I don't do that.
Thank God you don't do that, because
Yeah.
it's a fucking curse, let me tell you.
Well, that's the thing, because I think I procrastinate, but I think I procrastinate out of general laziness. Like there's some things where it's like acting or something might cause a little bit of a fear that holds me back. But like you have so much shit that you're always thinking about that. Like, because I always think, but it doesn't hold me back necessarily.
Yeah.
You, I can see why that's such a struggle, where you're just like, God damn it, I'm tired of thinking about it, but you keep doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm not jealous, no.
No, there's no reason to be jealous of me.
Well,
And-
not necessarily not jealous of you. I mean, you're an attractive man, but
Oh, shucks.
probably not the.
Can you see
the
me
whole
blush?
person.
Oh, I'm
Jesus.
sorry, I'm sitting in between you
We
two.
gotta- we
Me
gotta-
too, actually.
We gotta
Damn.
roll. We gotta roll for
kinda
blush.
uncomfortable.
Don't worry, we have long arms. There's a
Yeah,
reason there's
roll
a
for
cover on this
charisma.
table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Use your charisma roll to make Alan blush.
Oh dear.
Oh, that almost stems into one of my questions that I wanted to ask.
Oh,
Moving on, Courtney.
Going on to court.
I feel like I've been a little bit more motivated to actually start taking vlogging more seriously, because I only did it because Duell asked, and I was like, well, like, why not? And at first it was just kind of like, whatever, I'll just talk about my day. And then now, like, when I did the one weekend, when I, like, for the Bachelorette weekend in Whistler, and doing, like, the video of us, like, drinking and me, like, talking to people, like, that was so fun. And I uploaded the drunk video, because I didn't upload that one, but I put it to like my actual. I deleted it
Yeah.
later, but I was like, I don't want to like have people see this.
Yeah.
But I was so proud that I was videotaping everything, and was able to create like a little like 5-minute video of the one drunken night, and it was so. And so I want to make more videos like that. So
Yeah.
it's now more of my inspiration to start doing more of that, and getting more into like I have my streams, but like, you know, whenever I would tell people about my vlogs, they were like, oh yeah, I'll totally like watch them and stuff. So now I have, you know, bringing in those followers that, you know, watch me on stream to like start watching my vlogs, and like to, you know,
Yeah,
come out to
I
our
really like your
community.
idea to start interacting with other YouTube channels too.
Yeah.
Just to create kind of, in a sense, a presence of what the thing's doing.
On that note, I don't know if you guys actually tried searching for like other vlogs.
haven't.
It's really hard to find small streamers or small YouTubers that are
Yeah.
doing vlogs as well, because like I tried to look stuff up, but it was always those top views.
Yeah.
And-
That's the algorithm.
Yeah, right.
That's literally the YouTube algorithm.
It
I was
is.
like,
YouTube
how
is-
are smaller YouTubers supposed to even like compete against that?
It's
They don't.
almost impossible.
It's
Yeah.
literally
The thing
impossible.
is,
They stack it against
There's
us.
two algorithms that works in YouTube. There's one that bans, and then there's one that actually just suppresses
Yeah.
videos and buries it deeper.
Buries your
Two
Well, that's the thing.
algorithms.
It's YouTube's its
Gross.
own corporation. It has so much power in the world right now that it's very like it makes sense as a company that they're trying to cut down on like how many creators they're paying for what they're doing with like advertisements and shit. But YouTube's still fucked up with the shit that they like
Yeah.
push down and censor for no fucking reason.
It's really hard for them. I know they can't hear me.
Yeah. I got it.
Yeah, I'll be his voice. It's really hard for them.
Oh,
God damn, we gotta share mine
confiscated.
again.
Confiscated.
The thing is, the company is too large and there's too much data to handle that they
Yeah.
can't have humans sifting through each individual video.
It's
They
impossible.
need programs to do it. They need algorithms, and algorithms are such finicky things themselves that you can't program an algorithm to do exactly what you want it to do. There's such
Yeah.
mysterious little programs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So it's always trying to tweak the algorithms to, help out YouTubers, or they're not trying to be malicious. It's just
Yeah.
because the system is so runaway,
Yeah.
they can't fix it fast enough, and it's just
Yeah,
constant
exactly.
animosity and anger and anger and anger.
Mm-hmm.
All right, sound guy's done.
You
Yay.
almost have to have
And
a
that's how you
platform
end up
I-
with a shooter at your front door.
I think
YouTube.
Mark's
Ooh.
just like this
rough.
off-body wisdom
Spicy.
voice.
It's right.
That you're
It's
just
rough.
like,
It's true,
"Ooh."
but it's
This
rough.
is
Like we're
Jesus.
just learning.
Right.
Welcome to Jesus Talk.
Thank
Yeah.
God she didn't kill anyone.
We can make our own website. One other thing, just with all that though, because me and Courtney have been playing a lot of games recently, and with the DAGG vlogs, it feels kind of like we work together already.
Yeah.
And it's become this thing of like, I could super do this for a living. Like,
Yeah.
if we got the ability to like start doing this and everything.
Mm. Oh,
How do
fuck,
you
I
even,
forgot
though?
my resume.
How
at
do you?
home.
How do you even create it as a living? Like, because there's so many niches that are already filled. How are you just gonna go on there and try to be yourself? Like, you have to have such an interesting personality to be able to pull people in.
I
with
don't
that.
even
honestly
necessarily
don't think
think
you
that's
do,
true.
because I was watching. Dude Perfect is on our day because of Doel, and I was bored, so I started watching Dude Perfect, and you can kind of see how they started. They were much more themselves when they began, and now they're just very loud and screamy, and that's fine. They're doing their own thing, but they are kind of what the commenters have made them, and it's the
Yeah.
same thing with like, let's say, Rhett and Link. So the
Yeah.
thing to do is to create a base, which we're trying to do, which I think we are more than capable of, especially with very talented. And the thing is, you kind of do what we're doing now, where you have to live a normal life, but trying to get content out there. When something starts to spark, you kind of put more wood on the fire, and eventually it grows. I think
So
it's
what we're doing here is just striking steel to flint and hoping something catches. and
yeah, we're just stoking the fire.
Yeah.
Really. And the thing is, I think as long as we're all, because a collective will always do way better. And like the
Yeah.
thing is, everyone else, it's not extraordinary individuals. It's people with all the power. Kim Kardashian's not miraculous. People gave her that power. Same thing with especially YouTubers are not super talented people.
Yeah.
They're kind of people who are good at what they do, and then they might have a personality those people all cling to.
The big
Thank you,
YouTubers have
Brockhampton.
A lot of self-determination and self-motivation.
That's the thing,
I'm not trying to
it's-
take away from anyone's accomplishments, but it's still like that is the thing though. All those YouTubers, the huge ones now, have been like in it from the beginning.
Yep.
You kind of gotta go, keep doing it. It's the mentality of anyone who's going to make it as kind of an entertainer has to, one, be lucky and get it right away, or two, just keep doing it until it catches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that involves possibly being poor, and I'm cool with that. I'm already poor.
Yeah.
I ain't
I
doing
mean,
We
it.
I'm
need
in
that one
school, so
viral
yeah.
video,
You-
guys.
You need that one. You get that one thing, and then if you get a viewing, and then you work hard on that viewing, you can keep going. Because this is a kind of a different business than regular art, where it's kind of like you gotta get the big thing and the big thing. This is if you get a following, you can chip away at that, work
Yeah.
with the smaller following until it grows. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then diversify.
That's the thing, right?
And that's the thing. We're a diverse crowd, but with our different skill sets and interests.
It is a
and shit.
huge
We-
advantage to have that.
When the channel grows larger, then you branch out into other business ventures merch,
Yeah.
Exactly.
other shows or something like that.
Yeah.
That's how you grow. Is just expand outwards
offering
slowly.
more
Yeah.
kinds
Games,
of content.
comedy,
where it's
makeup,
like it gives
that-
people
that-
more of a
that-
choice
that-
as to what they want to tune into and what they want to
Yeah.
support. If
We
you're only
need-
giving them one thing, it's like if
we
they're
need
not like
one-
hugely into
One
it. You know?
controversial video, and we're set for
Well,
life.
I
Boom
personally
girl,
think
that's what gave me
got
like
it.
10 new followers.
Boobs
Fair.
aren't
10.
controversial.
I personally
Not
think
anymore.
we
Free
cover
nipple has
such a
been done
demographic.
and gone.
as a group.
You know?
Yeah, for
We cover
sure.
such a demographic. We got like
Yeah.
dumbass stoners, and everyone can say their own thing because
Hey.
I don't want to label anyone.
I'm also a dumb stoner.
I
so
prefer
I mean,
to
like,
be
welcome
labeled.
To
I don't
it.
But
have
you're on
one
the
for
artsy
myself.
side.
It's true.
I'm more of like competitive, like trying to get fit and do competitive things, stoner, and you're artsy stoner.
I'm super artsy.
And then we
stoner.
have
I'm not a stoner.
yeah, but what are you? Label yourself.
What are you?
I
Yeah.
don't actually have a label for
Label
myself.
yourself.
Choose it quickly.
Angst, man.
There you go.
I
There you
reject
go.
labels, so the anti-label
Oh.
label.
His name's
Like,
Sasuke,
classic.
I
ladies and
dislike
gentlemen.
labels, so I'm like, yeah, fuck that.
And Courtney, what do you label yourself?
Clickbait.
Hey.
Someone's got to do it.
You're the gem that we need to be able
Yeah.
to
I
succeed.
was gonna
Bless.
say-
Bless.
What's so well then?
I was gonna say court bait for you, but then I thought that it sounded kind of like pedophilia in a weird
Yeah,
way.
no, I'm definitely clickbait
I think
just because
I'm
I'm
okay with that.
blonde, look relatively good look. Yeah, and it's like you put like I can take good
Hot
pictures.
token
Blonde,
blonde chick with
hair.
glasses.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
gonna click.
Like that's why when
She looks like maybe she take her shirt off. It says boob near here. Maybe
yeah.
that means that.
Maybe.
Well, that's why like
I
when
like
I
it.
made one
One day.
vlog about like going out and getting a part of like Discord and going out and following other streamers and stuff is because especially with the guys, it's so much harder to be clickbait.
Yeah.
Like no one's gonna watch it unless your stream looks super professional. Even then, you probably won't.
Yeah.
Because if you look super professional, have 0 views, no one's gonna look at it.
True.
And it's like, but as long as like you go out there, you start making friends, and like I know from being a part of a lot of other Discords that there's a few guys on there that get viewers just because they've been a part of a Discord community for so long,
Yeah,
and they're like,
exactly.
hey guys, I finally got a setup, I'm gonna stream, and then they get like 5-10 people, and it's like just from their Discord.
Just
Yeah.
Because the Discord just starts growing.
It's just like a collective support.
I find it
system.
so hard to be social on Discord. I'm just like,
uh-oh.
oh no, cameraman.
Face! Anyways.
He just fishing out of
Yeah,
real
no,
eye.
it's super, and like for me to have my own Discord and to be social, but that's why you have to like find really great people that live for that stuff. Like I have my one like
Off-screen guys.
my one streamer like co-host type person, which is Soulcam, like, and he he's on all these Discords, and those are like his friends, and like so he's constantly posting on like 3 different ones, so he knows who to bring on, like how to
Yeah.
keep it rolling, and like you just find those people that just kind of like roll the ball for you, and
Yeah.
then you pop on every now and again just to be like, hey,
Hi.
how's everyone doing? I'm gonna stream tonight. Hope you can see you guys.
However, the longer you wait to try to gain an audience, the harder it gets.
Yeah.
Because there's only
Yeah.
so many
Yeah.
people.
Yeah,
It's
for
true.
sure. I'm not trying to wait.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the 11-year-olds to join in all this shit.
Doesn't-
Oh, well, the
doesn't-
Jake Paulers are gonna be on there soon enough.
Well,
When
they
they start
tried,
streaming,
but
yeah.
then
Still,
they
doesn't
tried,
it just hurt your soul to know that if you did this 2 years ago, it would have been much easier?
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It like
Well, now
actually
it
kills
does.
me.
But I
Well, that's-
started.
That's the issue,
But the thing
yeah.
is, I started 2 years ago, and it was still like, even as a girl, like I had that leg up, but I wasn't consistent enough.
Girls don't
That was-
necessarily have a leg up if they're not doing the boob girl thing they do. I get that you're clickbait, but they're not necessarily going to stay because there's a lot of the streaming community is that kind of shitty like girls playing games and anything, right?
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
ones that stay are the
Sex
guys that
sells.
clicked on you that are like, oh, you're actually good at this game. Oh, you actually have knowledge. Oh, you can actually. Okay, you're pretty cool.
Yeah,
You know,
that
and they-
that is such a long process. Is
Yeah.
the thing? It's like it's always this feeling of like
You get
you have to
15 seconds.
prove yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, 15 seconds to prove yourself. And so
So
when
now you're supposed to
I
be like, ah!
yeah, I had a person come on and they're like, wow, that picture's really like
Misleading.
sexually offensive or something like that. And I was just like, have you not ever played a video game before?
Yeah, exactly.
And
Did
they were
they
just
say
like, they're
that?
like, well, yeah, and they were
Why
like, well,
did
why
you
do you
click on it?
Yeah, but they were like, why did you choose? I was like, well, I'm like, are you gonna hear the story? And they're like, okay, let's hear it. And then I told them the story of Boob Girl, and then I got like 3 new followers that day.
Boob girl.
Yeah, Boob Gerald.
Boob girl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
I think it's all just about like putting it out there and going. I think especially from like streamers that I've heard and that I've seen, there's a certain cadence to how you speak. I think if you're pleasant to talk to, then you're fine as long as you find the niche in gaming you want to be doing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Also, the reaction time of talking to your chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I
Huge.
go on to small streamers and I'm like, hey, this looks fun. And then sometimes they'll respond right away where I'm like, okay, sweet, now I can have a conversation. If
Yeah.
they don't, after 1 minute, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, it's either they're set up or like they're just not paying attention. And I can understand like if there's something really intense happening, but if they're just sitting there waiting for like, to shoot someone, and I'm like, hey, what's up? And they don't respond to me
Gotta shoot
within
'em.
a few seconds. I'm like, I'm already on another person's stream because
Yeah.
it's like, why
I'm
would I talk to
gone.
someone who like takes 7 minutes to respond?
Shut
Yeah.
up.
Senpai won't notice.
It happens,
you're
all right?
bad
You're
with
playing
that
high
too.
I
intense
am bad. I
games.
am
You're
bad.
really bad
I've
with
been
that.
good at responding.
When you do respond, it's good. And
It-
you can like get on there
I'm
solidly,
bad.
but you're bad at noticing when people are.
Yeah, but
Like
that.
you got hosted or rated, and you're
Yeah.
like, I don't know what to do.
That's true.
I got like 16 viewers. It's like, oh dear, because I heard that someone followed me, but I didn't. I looked at my phone. My phone had died, and I was like, shit, someone's here. Don't go away. Let me get my phone. And it's like 22 viewers. I was like, ah, I'm
What do
here,
I do?
guys. Oh.
Bombarded.
And then the one guy was like, this is your moment. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh no, it's my chance to blow.
He's
And then
weak.
you blew.
I'm sad.
And
It went okay,
And
I
I was
kept
trying
it-
to like talk to you, be like, oh, like okay, let's go, like try
Ah,
to
Stardew Valley.
like what do we do?
I'm planting corn. I'm planting corn. I'm harvesting corn.
Oh
Like,
man.
Oh, shit.
Hello,
Well.
Jasmine Fleur. Speaking of
Woo,
on
hello.
time, immediate. Boom.
Hello.
Yeah,
Say
there you
hello.
go.
Ah.
Yeah, you did it.
Oh,
True,
hello,
there it
hello.
is. There it is. Okay.
It's gonna be like drag mom, but you'll just be like my stream mom.
Yeah.
Thank you for the
For the hola?
enlightening
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a question
Yeah, go
for
for it.
everyone.
Go at it.
Since everyone here plays D&D, I was curious if you had to pick a class and race based off of some real life personality traits. What?
Oh, like
you
what
thi-
do we actually think we would be?
Yeah, like if
An
you were
elf.
immediately transferred over, what class and race would you be?
Half elf
bard.
for sure. And I want to say monk.
I'd stay a
That's my
tiefling, to be
character.
fair.
Do you
Fair.
you could be tiefling because I think you're viewed as demonic by old people already, so it
It's
makes
true,
sense.
but I'm actually really nice, but nobody wants to take the time. That's literally my
buddy.
entire race.
We have
Yeah.
a tiefling on our team now, and he's a paladin, or she's a paladin.
Oh, wow.
Paladin
and
sorcerer.
then but she's very against, or not against religion. She doesn't really believe in it, even though she's a paladin. So
Very confusing.
my character as a drow, like, I want to be a better person, so I bought a cross. Because
Nice.
apparently good people kiss their crosses, and then so I do that, and she goes.
Every
She's
goddamn
like,
time.
like just irritated.
I always pay a
I always
barbarian
pay
cleric
a
half-orc.
barbarian
Yeah.
clearic half orc.
Always,
Because it's such a
combination.
weird
That is a-
combination
that
to have a
is-
clearic and a
That is an
barbarian.
interesting combination.
Well, I
had a
always
worship
have
Saint Cuthbert.
worship
Saint
Saint
Cuthbert?
Cuthbert.
Yeah, the god of retribution.
Yeah, the god of retribution.
Are you-
So we'd always run around.
Yeah, so
and
we'd
just
always
be
run
like,
around and just
my
be like,
God.
Retribution.
Wow.
so
that color
Well
commentary by
translated,
Martin.
yeah.
Yeah, Martin is
Yeah.
the translator
Yeah.
for.
for the
Excellent.
sound
Well
guy.
done.
I'm giving
Well
the sound
done.
guy a voice over here.
I feel like I would definitely be an elf, probably like an elf hunter and a rogue.
Yeah.
So
Hunter. Hunter's not. This isn't World of Warcraft. This is D&D.
Ranger.
No, but like yeah,
D&D
a ranger. Sorry,
craft.
yeah,
Ranger.
ranger.
A specific class always goes rogue.
Yeah, rogue is
Yeah.
OP in the new edition,
It's
man.
super
It's
OP.
true.
It's pretty
and
good.
It's
so
ridiculous.
I
I
tank
dislike
and
it.
I'm like I have crazy acrobatics. I do matrix shit and stuff. It's great.
I would. It's because it's literally. Like, because I'm doing a playthrough right now that's half elf monk, and half elves I like get along. Like I sympathize with crazy because I've always had that thing where like when people see me, it's either like I get like, oh, Alan's like a preppy white dude, or it's like, oh, Alan's a hipster, or Alan's
Yep.
gay, and like I'm always people who like a hipster will think I'm a prep, and a prep will think I'm a hipster, so they always think I'm the opposing thing, but I look like both, which is exactly what half elves get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, then-
Nice.
so I was like, yeah, and then like it's the general. They're good at like hanging around people, but they're also kind of like secluded. So I'm
Yep.
like, and then monks, I just like love everything about being a monk. Is like, what do? You work out until your fists are magic? Yeah.
Pretty much.
And like,
I
it
punch trees till my trees punch fists.
Cause like, in an actual D&D world, I would
Fist
like,
Punch, my favorite band.
and like I knew it was possible. I
Hashtag
definitely
regular
would just
show.
piece off to like a mortuary and train and shit. Like I won't do that here, cause all that gets you is like flexibility and like inner peace or some
Slight
garbage.
bragging
No
rights.
magic
Fucking
fists.
inner
No.
peace is fake.
At least
Yeah.
mummify yourself.
What
to
about
be
you,
fair.
Martin?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't heard Max's.
Oh, I thought she'd be a tiefling.
Tiefling.
My
But we
race
didn't-
is tiefling. I don't know what my class would be necessarily. I feel like being a bard would be great, just because I'm a singing, dancing, charismatic little shit, and I like
Yeah.
entertaining people. So I feel like that would be my major.
Such brain manipulators.
We're such
If
brain
you're good.
manipulators.
Yeah,
If you're
exactly.
good.
Yeah.
I don't want to fight. Yes, you do.
I
Yeah,
don't want to
kinda wanna
fight.
fight now.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, I kind of want to fight now.
Seriously,
Says soundboard.
that's what my current my tiefling. She has the actor trait, which means that if she's heard any creature or person speak for more than a minute or more, I can perfectly mimic them, and people have to do wisdom checks every single time they hear me to prove that I'm not that.
Cool.
That's pretty cool.
And we heard an owl bear fight the other day. I can become an owl bear if somebody has really shitty wisdom. They won't know that I'm not an owl
Damn.
bear at any point. It's so exciting.
I will say just
Scribe, get paper.
you would I think you would
Yeah.
be a bard, but like split class of bard, and then maybe a fighter or something. You're literally
Probably.
far too scrappy
I
not
am
to have
very
some
scrappy.
kind of violence.
But that's the thing. That's why bard would be great, because then I just go and bar
You're
fight
just a
all the
bard
time.
scrapper.
I'll just
Just
go
like-
perform and
When
start
Martin-
fights and shit.
When Martin says his thing, I have another thing to add on to the D&D, which was a vlog that I was going to post, but it was way too controversial for
Ooh.
myself because I
But-
couldn't articulate my
Okay,
ideas.
but we
Oh, yeah.
can do it now.
So yeah, so I figured
Excellent.
I was like, this would be a really good podcast like discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So-
Ballroom blitz, ballroom
All right,
blitz,
so we got
ballroom blitz.
an elf ranger, half elf
Um,
hipster.
But yeah, Martin, what's your
Metrosexual, as we will say.
If I had to be
Metrosexual.
realistic, for some reason, I feel like I'd be something stupid like a half orc. I don't know why.
You'd be a
Like-
shard mine.
Or like
I
a
play half work, you son of a bitch.
yeah, you play half
Kindred.
orc, but like if you were, you wouldn't be a half orc. I for some reason I get it's like either a half orc or a dwarf.
labeling.
I could see you being like half gnome and then half like really majestic human warrior, so you look like super crazy, but in your mind you got like that little gnome part of you that's
Like a
like, just
Snurfneblin?
questioning fucking everything.
I'm gonna make a
But
contraption.
I think you'd be like some kind of half breed that would seem imposing, and then on the
Half-breed.
inside you would have some kind of different little
Like really inferiority
not
issue,
inferiority, just
questioning.
A complex of sorts.
just a different
I am a
perspective on
complex.
things, because it's like humans and elves are very into themselves. Like dwarves dwarves dislike elves because elves are so about themselves, but dwarves don't feel themselves better than others.
Yeah.
I think
No.
gnomes probably think they're better than other people too. I don't know.
I would think gnomes definitely do because they're more of a segregated race. Dwarves are like we're all one and one for all, right?
We're
Very
all made of
united
the same
peoples.
stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, well, that's how they were made in Lord of the Rings.
Out of stone.
So in the Silmarillion, the main god created, I can't remember all the numbers. I haven't read the Silmarillion in a while. It's either 10 or 12 gods. They all sang to create Middle Earth.
Yep.
And then the one major god was like, soon the first children will come to you. Those are the elves. The gods were so looking forward to this for company that one got too impatient, and he created a people out of stone.
And those
they
were the dwarves.
Dwarves. And then the first god was like, the main god was like, you can't do that shit. I told you to wait. He's like, I'm sorry. I just want to love somebody. And then he's like, and he saw that the dwarves were really well made, not like perfect like the elves, but well made. So he's like, they can't come first, but they can come later. So he put them to sleep under the mountains, and then they came later.
Neato.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I know in the Forgotten Realms, like D&D realm,
Yeah.
dwarves actually breed regularly, but the males and the females are unable to be distinguished because the females have just as big and luscious beards as the males.
Oh, dude,
That
we're
is a
learning
joke in
beard laying
Tolkien, but
soon.
I'm not
I'm
100%
so excited.
the validity of it.
Pardon?
So like they make the comments in the movies, and I think in the book I did just read
They do make it in the movie.
and he
for
was
sure.
like, it's the beards. So I do believe dwarven women have beards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in Tolkien's, it's like a third of the population will end up having children because most of them are far more concerned with monetary value. So
Yes.
a better life would be getting stuff as opposed to bearing sons and such.
Yeah, because children take all of your shit away.
Do
you wanna have a fun,
A1
Yeah.
for
full-
every race.
Energetic.
And what
you
class
know,
do you want to be, Martin?
It would probably be something physical.
Physical?
Barbarian.
Barbarian?
Warrior.
Just running around smashing shit.
I would like to
A
get
fighter.
that rage, to be
A
honest.
rage,
The
yeah.
rage would be like, yeah.
Just
It would
Rage
make me
Against the Machine.
Rage, enlarge, like just all the buffs.
rage,
buffs.
enlarge the penis, and then bang the woman.
Truth.
Bada bing. In that order. Thank you very much. Drop
But-
the
You gotta ask her if she
so
wants to first.
I want to.
though.
I want to hear
No.
Courtney's super.
I would have slapped you so hard if you did that.
What is it?
Controversial vlog that
Controversial
I.
D&D. Ooh.
Okay,
Spicy.
so just to kind of give you guys an idea of our campaign, Martin was, because now he's the DM right now.
Yeah.
He's a deep gnome, so he's a snurflap.
Can you pronounce my race properly, please?
Nerf Nephilim. Snurf-
Sverfnebelin. Okay.
Nerf.
N- Sverfnebelin.
Sverfnebelin.
It's a
Nebelin.
deep gnome.
Yeah, so
I'm
they're
the underdog.
Yeah, and then my
You're a lot
class
deeper into
or
D&D
my
than
race.
I've delved.
I've read 15 books based on the Forgotten Realms series created by.
Forgotten Realms, Underdark, Drow.
That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
so I'm a drow elf.
Yeah.
So again, like black skin, like white hair, stuff like that. So throughout like the series or like throughout our campaign and stuff like that, you know, obviously there were times during it where when we would walk into bars and people would kind of give us weird looks because there'd be these like half elves with like a drow elf and a deep gnome.
Yeah.
So people were kind of like, oh, like so strange, right?
Sverfnebelin.
Not only that, like,
Snurfneblin.
Drow elves are usually like really standoffish.
Super
They
evil.
Yeah,
don't like
I
other
kn-
people and-
well,
yeah.
So
Drows
I-
don't blend.
Like
Yeah,
everybody
our,
else
our
in
backstory
D&D.
is
Yes.
that like my character knows his character because my character used to be a hired assassin and was also like raised with a family that taught me how to assassinate and kill people. And then when my
Friendly.
twin brothers or one of them had gone to jail for a crime that I committed, like that's when I kind of like was able to have a chance to peace out and then be a hired
Gone.
mercenary. So his character hired mine out to protect the mines when they were mining and stuff like that. And
Okay.
so it was really interesting because throughout our series, whenever there'd be like NPCs that obviously like aren't necessarily bad, but they'd be like
Give 'em a
difficult.
sass or,
yeah,
like,
sass
Yeah.
or like difficult. I would like go. I would like pull out my dagger and then he'd be like, no, we don't kill this one. And I'm just like, you know, or like lick my knife and like
doing
just
like,
you know, and so my alignment was chaotic good.
oh,
Because obviously we kind of had to be good to be a part of like, you know, adventuring guild and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
we can't be in a guild.
so recently
True.
what's happened is that we're like, so now that Martin's DMing, I'm with, you know, my team and they're like half elves and then one's a Teflon or whatever. And what
Tiefling. It's
Tiefling,
okay.
Tiefling, sorry. So what initially had happened was, by the end of the one campaign with Martin, they were like, "You're basically chaotic," so they got rid of my good. So my character was like, "Okay, well, I want to be a better person." So I had not like gotten into religion, but I bought like a cross and like I wanted to kind of reform myself. I went to the like all this jazz, the plith and like
I'm
you
a
know.
born again Christian.
Yeah, like, and like, but just to like make people think that I'm better because they were very much like you're evil, and I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I'm a better person. So
She was pretty goddamn evil.
what had happened was during one of the instances that we were all like chit chatting. I don't know why like there's
It flashes, but it doesn't do it on my like phone, so I
No.
It's
think.
doing it on my phone.
Oh, it
doing
is,
it
yeah.
on my phone too.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
this-
we're getting flashes.
It's a
I
fucking
think
party.
it's the
Sound man.
It's the
Oh, I
the
guess
fan.
I'm video man too, eh?
You
Turn
are
on the
production
light.
manager.
I
See
know,
if
I
it-
know what's wrong with it. No, don't touch that.
No, okay. So
What
anywho,
is that? That freaking
So
thing.
you're evil.
So yeah, so I was like evil, trying to be a better person and stuff like that, right? So, now I'm like, what was the instance? So one of the instances was I don't know, there was like a decision being made. Like people looked at me differently, and they just like instantly accused me of not being a better person. They're like, well, like you're a drow. Like what's a drow doing here? They were very
Racist.
discriminated against. And then that's when
Aw.
I had this woke moment of racism. Where
This is what it's like.
yeah, right. And
Wow.
like,
But
but
how
that's-
am I supposed to tell people? Because they're gonna hate me.
yeah, I like that's why like with the vlog, I was like, I'm a white person talking about this shit. Like, damn it.
I finally understood because
Yeah.
people are being mean to my drow.
But there were
Wow.
yeah, but
Oh
Recommended
my
one just
God.
know, it was set to auto white balance, and
Oh.
lighting is just like right in the middle of two settings. So it's
okay.
Auto white
Okay.
balance is a
Aha.
bad thing.
But yeah, so that like so they like looked over, they're like, oh well, like, you know, you're a drow, but like you shouldn't be chaotic good. Like you're chaotic, like you're just chaotic because you're evil. And I was like offended because I'm like, no, like my character's trying to do better, and then
intro so much more fun anyway.
yeah.
Yeah.
True.
And you're
you
trying to
were-
be like, you know, discriminate against me. And I was like, immediately I understood where when it comes to like different races and stuff like that, it's almost like D&D where
shit.
there's with races, there's alignments that you automatically assume
Yeah.
of a person's character because of their race.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
That's,
Oh.
to be fair, orcs are a little different than humans with a different skin color.
Ooh.
Well, I'm gonna.
well, that's like tieflings too, where like they're half demon.
they're half
So like
demon, yeah.
they have to be that chaoticness, but it's like,
We're
what
the
if the
children
tieflings
of
and paladin want
darkness,
to be
but then
good?
not.
It's funny because our DM really wanted to switch it up because it's always like that. It's always like this is what you were this way. So what he made was a world where elves had taken magic too far, created a cataclysm that had destroyed a huge city and killed millions, and then everyone hated magic and hates elves.
Yep.
So elves are treated like horrible garbage,
Oh,
and
shit.
magic users are killed like on sight.
Yeah.
So, and most of us are elves or half elves, so we are all like, everyone's super racist. Someone into our party's a paladin who's super racist against elves.
Yep.
So
And
you guys are like super paranoid, like magic missiling into the darkness. Like,
That's the thing. We have to
I-
be really careful about it.
I
but-
did, and I didn't know he was doing this, but I did an amnesiac playthrough because I wanted to use this as a chance to actually question a lot of things, including like race, gender, and everything. And I wanted the game and the people I was playing with to try and explain to my character what all that stuff meant.
Yeah.
And then, so I named my character Monk Manfish when our DM told us what it was. And I was like, okay. And he's like, they're racist and they're going to say this, this, and this. And fish is because the elves have all been pushed to the slums by the sea. So they're called fish. So the first three things I'm called when I wake up with amnesia are monk, because I have monk garb on, elf, because I look like an elf, I'm half, and then fish. So I just call myself Monk Manfish. No, man. So Monk Manfish.
Yeah.
And then that's the whole thing. And then I try and get people to explain to me. I am very androgynous, but I'm a female.
what was your intelligence?
My intelligence is 10. My wisdom is 16.
Your character would not call himself Monk Fish Man.
Why not?
Monkman
With
fish.
an intelligence that high and a wisdom that high.
Intelligence is regular.
Are birds reptiles?
Kind of in a sense. It's descendant of the
Once
same
upon a
tree, but I mean,
time.
Negative. As of current situations,
I'm
no.
over.
I think
Yeah.
you'd be
But-
too wise to come
Well-
up with something silly like that.
No, so it's
I don't
not
know, it's-
silly.
What up?
It
I'm
was
Mr. Rogers.
straight up amnesia. That's just the
I have
identity
amnesia
that they
and I
felt
get
was-
called Monk Manfish and it goes in with my personality. I'm
Yeah.
not questioning because they explain to me because that's basically I just ask and that's what I take everything as, and then I ask like why they call me fish and like that's what they call elves, and I'm like what are elves? Elves are this, and then I go okay, I'm cool with that, so I put fish in there, but I also get called man because people think I'm that, so I'm like okay, I'll throw that in there, and then I get called monk. Those are just three descriptors that I was fine with. It's not a question of like that's what it's just like I don't have any societal pressure put on me. It's not inability to understand, it's inability to get the society version of it, because I'm also a woman, and then but I'm very androgynous and I'm all covered up and stuff, so they'll act like I was a guy and then it'd be like you're a man. It's like what's that? And it's like you got a dangly thing between your legs, and I was like why would that have anything to do with anything? Because I can't do so.
Yeah.
The whole playthrough is because I'm a like an outlander too, so I have natural like hunting ability too. So it's just really funny of
Interesting.
natural instinct over learned societal behavior.
It can be
Plus a
quite
racist
quite
culture.
devastating at
Uh,
times.
I punch a lot of people.
Yeah.
If anyone's rude to me, I smash
without
I got to kick
without
someone in
like
the face
a
is great.
second
Yeah.
breath in between. Somebody does something offensive and like Monk Manfish is in there kicking, like punching the shit out
Like
of them.
2 of the quests have been because someone has been rude to me, or like because someone had slaves and I asked what slaves were, and he's like, oh, like workers against their will, and I killed him. I've taken
Stole his nose.
and I broke a nose, and the first playthrough I actually hit a nose off with my bow staff, so I started collecting noses.
No, wow.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Uh,
Monkmanfish is
Is it legal to have
Just don't fuck around.
We
it
have
legal?
we
in that world?
In that world, it is
It's like it's
l-
used, but it is
it's illegal
technically
there,
illegal, yeah.
but then it's like very common. But he doesn't like Monk Manfish does not operate on the basis of anything past his own idea of something. So what I do for Monk Manfish is when I think of slaves, like, oh, it's someone we make work. I'm like, I would hate that.
What?
They must hate
Why?
that too. And then I disagree.
Sorry, Mr.
Yeah.
Rogers.
Yeah,
We're talking
I'm like,
about
that's
our
horrible.
D&D
Mr.
characters. here,
Rogers.
guys.
You're the worst person to walk into a coffee shop being
It's not
like,
the right
"Oh,
street, I
yeah, we're
guess.
talking about Mr.
No, see, I don't
man.
care if you do anything like
There you
that.
go,
Once
you're
again,
the-
it's like I took a
I
note.
collect noses. yes.
We saved a guy from what was it?
Wait,
Not a harpy.
succubus.
Succubus.
His name was Full Metal.
Well, this is
not
us in real life
alchemist.
actually because we play D&D. So
Yeah,
2 points.
it's LARPing, you know.
Homunculus?
No, it would be.
Sorry, you said full metal.
Call me
Please,
Dog.
okay.
Mr.
Oh,
Rogers
no,
was my
his
father.
name
Call
was
me
Alphonse,
Dr.
that's
Rogers.
He was,
why.
yeah, Alphonse. Like
And he was in a suit
No, your
of
name's
armor,
Mr.
so he's
Rogers.
like,
Your name is
yeah.
I'm
well
Mr.
done,
Rogers.
DM. Well
he
done.
was he was unconscious, and I searched him and found a note, and he came to. He's like, "Give me my note back," and I was like, "I just saved you from dying. This is my note because I took it from you." I was trying to get it back. I was like, "No, I don't understand." So it's just
Oh, never mind.
I don't know if that's correct. Just because you saved him from dying.
no. See, but this is the thing.
Oh, sorry, Dr. Rogers.
From the amnesiac perspective of someone who was about to die and who I was like that, I took the note.
Mhm.
And it was like, what authority do you have to ask for this back? Because when I got knocked out, I woke up and all my stuff was gone. And in my head, that's just kind of what happens.
How do you know that you had stuff in the beginning? You're a monk.
I was
Monks don't
carrying
have-
stuff. I was told by the person who found me.
Yeah.
That you were carrying things?
Yes. Because I was found in the slum. I was extremely injured and I had been like
Mhm.
ravaged.
You know what could be fun from time
Like
to time? is-
raped?
Not raped.
Okay.
Plundered.
Hey, Martin,
That's what
For
she
your
said. I mean, that's
booty.
just a nicer way to say it.
you know what's really fun to do from time to time?
What
And
is
my-
really
my
fun
last
for do?
character was that
From
was
time to
my
time.
half-orc barbarian who had an intelligence of 6, but a wisdom of 18. So he was
What the heck?
profoundly stupid, but had moments of clarity and like wise.
Abject, just complete clarity, like oneness with the universe at the same time. Like,
I played a
what?
flower in a play one
I
time. My
farts
only
doing
line
it.
was
Like-
photosynthesis.
Oh,
You
He
guys
like
are
smells shit on the ground to laugh about it, just like yeah.
Do you yell photosynthesis or is that
You're
just
fun,
something
Mr.
You guys are
Rogers,
fun.
Like
or
you sit
Dr.
there, you're
Rogers.
No, it started off like this, and he had to bloom. As he was saying photosynthesis.
and then someone
And
holds the
praise
mic
the
up to
sun.
them.
Really
And they're just like,
Are they bad?
photosynthesis!
Jesus, man.
Years.
Oh, actually,
Yeah.
Holy Christ, yeah.
speaking of.
Oh, thank you,
Hey,
Mr. Rogers.
Fucking
Rock the
Dr.
cat-
Dr.
Oh,
Rogers.
why do I? That's
Rocking it.
that's
Blow my ears off.
that's my old one when I had cat bug. So catsba made sense as a pun.
I identify as
Oh.
cabbage. I'm almost photosynthesizing.
Wow.
That's pretty amazing. I wish I could identify as a vegetable.
Is then the only dance
Well,
move
I
you
mean,
know
we could
the
get you in an
cabbage
accident.
patch?
Martin, camera,
Not
we
a
fixed that
question.
right away.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to fucking harm me. Bada bing.
I
You
just,
really shouldn't.
I
I-
mean,
I-
I just wanted to talk about a really embarrassing moment in my life that got sparked by Martin yelling into the microphone.
What, photosynthesis?
No. The most, okay, so I moved
Nice.
to Canada when I was 7 years old, and I didn't know any English when we moved here. I
Anglicizing.
still apparently don't. Um,
English.
But in grade 4, we had a Remembrance Day assembly.
Uh-huh.
Here's backstory. I have tiny baby Trump hands.
Yep.
Okay? These are not very useful for holding many things.
Baby Trump.
At all.
Just one thing.
So here's the thing. A, I'm super ESL. B, my hands are tiny. And C, I'm trying to hold 3 things at once.
What were you trying to
A
hold?
cue card, a torch, and then also a microphone.
A torch as in a
So-
flashlight?
No, like a fake
Okay, it was
flame
fake.
Oh,
torch.
okay.
Thank God.
Yeah. No, I had the Olympic flame in my hand in grade 4, and I was just standing there in my auditorium
You're like,
screaming.
this in a cue card and a microphone?
But here's the thing. So I was trying to hold the microphone and my cue card at the same time, but also the torch, but my cue card kept slipping. So halfway through the dialogue that I was supposed to do, I dropped the torch in the middle of like a silent Remembrance Day assembly, and all I do is this. Oh!
Oh, this is the worst thing
In
that's
front
happened
of
to
my
anybody.
entire school in a Remembrance
No
Day
one
assembly.
knows my pain.
I just fucking like dinosaur roar. And then I continued, and everybody was just quiet, and I just walked
Well, yeah,
to
it's a
the
Remembrance
side.
Day festival. You're supposed to be quiet.
It was awkward.
I
It
just-
was
I had a guy
very
that served in the
awkward.
Navy who had Tourette's.
I had a guy that served in the Navy who had Tourette's, where every couple minutes he would make a pterodactyl sound. But it
Best
was
Tourette's
stupid
ever.
because he was sitting there up on the bridge,
Like
and I'm like Manning
Communications.
Communications, and randomly in the middle of the night you would just hear,
Oh my god.
because it's super quiet as everybody's
Right.
working.
It's like
oh, it's
described
so-and-so.
video. I love it.
Pterodactyls somewhere.
Couldn't
Well,
help
of
it.
course
It's
not.
just
I mean,
Tourette's.
I really,
That's what
I
Tourette,
do.
what Tourette's is. you
Just
know?
to-
Yeah, right.
That's brilliant.
I saw a documentary about like a Tourette's camp, and like everyone would trigger everyone else, and it was the
Oh,
like
no.
it was an interesting documentary, but it was by far the funniest thing that I ever seen.
Oh no.
Like,
Tourette's is
and
not
then
funny.
I was very young when I watched it, but I just remember there was like a lineup and they're getting lunch, and the one's just like shit, and there was just like fuck, fuck, fuck. I'm like
The best
oh
thing
my
to
God,
show a
it's so hard
child
to laugh.
Yeah,
who
what
doesn't
is-
understand contextually what Tourette's is, show them
Doesn't
a video of
understand the
people who
pains,
have
like, that
Tourette's
looks
all
like
lined
fun.
up
I
together.
like-
Seems like
Show him
a
a couple of Tourette's cat videos.
I do want to say
all 8 of them or
I-
something. Jesus.
I
Where that remote went, we still don't know. It's
I-
never been found.
Fuck.
Take that fucking 2000s reference. Jesus Christ.
That's pretty good.
I just
Everyone talks
wanna-
about 90s references, but no one hits 2000 references.
The 2000s
Not a
were
great
the
time.
best time because everybody was
No.
fucked up and like still weirded out from the 80s and 90s, and they were trying to get their, groove back, but nobody knew what the
Now, and
fuck
it's
to
a new
do.
millennium, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. We're like, oh, it's the
Y2K,
2000s.
bro.
Everything was
Y2K.
fucked and weird until like 2010.
Everything once the year 2000 hit, like advertising companies were like, "It's the future."
Exactly.
For like 3 or 4 years, it was just all like plaid and like you had the Backstreet Boys who did that weird, where they were all in silver.
Yeah.
Oh
Good times.
yeah, the
Like
like
spacesuits
astronauty
things.
suits. Yeah.
Spacesuits were a big deal for
But
a
Space
while.
I
was
think everybody
huge.
was super like,
It's the new
"Man, this is
frontier.
now. The
'Cause, like-
future of my flying cars, give me my jetpacks. give me my-"
Exactly, because the whole 90s was the build up to the future. And
the
then
2000s.
2000 happened. We're like, flying cars immediately. Like, we're fucking advertising that we're going to space and the moon. We're going to make that commercialized. And it's like, guys,
I'm still pissed.
Whoa.
I'm still pissed that 2015 came around. I didn't get a hoverboard.
No
Exactly.
hoverboard.
Right?
What the fuck?
Just
I
to,
feel like
just to
the
cut
entire
in, 'cause
nation
we
was
are
just
babe,
devastated.
super off track.
That's the point.
But
Yeah.
I wanted to just quickly round back to court where that started. I appreciate so much that the controversial thing was like I started to understand racism and didn't have a way to express that as a white person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now that I played a character that was racist against, I totally understand the plight of every other race, and now I am
It's
intellectually
that
superior
intense, like,
to everybody
frustration
else.
that
Yeah,
comes with
I
it.
am now woke,
Well,
but I think that's just
I
such an
just-
interesting topic because of like, it doesn't matter how it happens. If you understand in some part way, like, oh, I can understand it better now. You should be able to express that because you're trying to
In all-
be positive.
Yeah,
In
it
all
was- it was a
reality, we can't though. Like,
No, I know we can't understand it, but you can express that you are going to try. It's like acknowledging privilege.
Well, it was
It's
like
something we can do.
it was a very interesting way to like put it into perspective of like to look at instead of like these fictional races and stuff like that to put it into perspective of real racism and their alignments that with these assumptions and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And then I suddenly was like, we should be playing D&D with kids to teach them about racism in a different perspective that they might be able to relate to a lot
that's
better.
that's
Make
what they already
them
do. It's turning their make believe into something constructive with
Yeah.
morals
Yeah.
and teaching them
That's
about
funny
like
though. Just make them
consequence
play
and that kind of
drows
thing.
and orcs, and then make all the
Dude,
regular
let's
people
homeschool our
be,
kids
like,
and just play
super
D&D with
mad
them
at
all day.
and they'll
That's
be like,
just
oh.
you want to learn math
You-
today.
You
Can't
need
math,
to
go
cross
to
this
school.
chasm. You have a strength of 16, which gives you 0.75%.
It's a little more
How many pancakes does it take
launch
to get to the
rating
moon?
with your glutamus maximus, and
Yeah.
if you calculate the force of gravity into the equation, we can definitely see here on the whiteboard. You'll be able
Yeah.
to make.
Do you feel
75%,
smarter now,
Yeah.
Martin?
But yeah, I made a
Ooh,
vlog.
I am
like
orc.
I literally
Ooh,
made
smash.
this vlog, and I felt that I wasn't able to articulate my ideas well enough to be explained, and for me not to come off as offensive and entitled.
That's so
Yeah.
hard to do. Yeah.
and
It's-
that's why I didn't post it, because I didn't feel comfortable with, like, someone, especially when we're a small stream, to be
Yeah.
like, racism. I'm
But
a white
that's the
person.
I'm
issue.
a white person.
It's-
Let me talk
it's
about
like-
racism like we can't.
Yeah,
We literally
well,
fucking
no.
the
can't.
push and
That's
pull
the
on
thing.
both sides, right?
We're not saying like I get it. It's like you're not trying to be like, look at me attention wise. If you do it correctly, I think it's completely appropriate for all of us, anybody, the straightest, whitest male, to talk about racism and the effects and stuff like that. Because quite frankly, while it's not what you want to hear, a white guy talking about why racism is bad might make a racist understand better,
Well,
because
that's
he's
a huge
obviously
thing
not
with
going to
the-
listen to other people because he's a
Yeah.
racist.
That's the whole thing with allies, right?
Yeah,
It's
it's-
acknowledging that you have that privilege, but then using your privilege in a constructive way to help minorities. It's not the kind of like mansplaining of like, I understand your struggle because this is what your struggle is. It's, I can sympathize with you, but I could never be in that same situation as you because society has put me in a different place than you. Just like right off the bat, like it's that kind of disconnection, but then you want to understand these people, so when you hear them speak, not to speak over them and to make sure that they feel heard. But then it's also PC culture where if you try to explain stuff like this, people will attack you because they're
Then
like, you don't know their experience, you're white, like how could you try to
'Cause-
like connect with that? You don't know you
And
don't
then that's when you
understand
have to sit back and be
anything.
like, all right, you tell me then.
There,
I'm here to
But
that's the
it's-
thing. There's
it's
no
both.
solution to
Yeah.
racism if the answer to racism isn't we're going to be racist against you now.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to say we're experiencing anything as bad as those people are experiencing, but silencing and muting people isn't the way you get people
Yeah,
to
exactly.
interact and
separating
get
us
along.
is just
Segregation.
dividing us is just making us weaker and not.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
what you're saying is cultural appropriation is for a benefit of all society?
Well, actually, I wouldn't
Oh, no,
mind
we're gonna
talking
start
about
with that
that, but
topic.
a little like, geez.
Okay, that might be.
My question to that is basically, when does cultural sharing, which is a very happy thing that's well looked upon, turn into cultural appropriation?
That is a very good question.
I went to a
our
festival called African Days. It was very small. It was just in Vancouver in a park. And it was people from Africa selling African wares. There was classical African clothing, and I went up and asked, I was like, well, in what parameters do you wear this? Like, oh, every day, just everyday wear. They're really comfy. These shoes are super comfy. They're nice around the home shoes. And I asked, can I buy these and it'd be okay? And they're like, yeah, totally. It'd be great for you to support. And so here's the thing. If I walk around wearing traditional African pants,
Everyone
that
who's not African will be offended by that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Whoa.
and it's like,
It's
well,
true.
that's the thing.
Whoa.
If I'm appropriating culture, but at the same time, like, and I like that. There's another guy. Careful with arms hitting the table.
Well, we're like breaking the illusion.
Supposed to read it.
Exactly. That's how signs work, guys. Don't read signs.
Wait, can we get this guy a
That's how it
whiteboard?
works.
Yeah, honestly.
Oh, why
wasting
white?
trees.
Oh my God, blackboard.
And I'll
Jesus.
do it.
Jesus Christ!
I'm gonna
Could
do
you
a-
calm down. We don't use chalk around here. We use dry erase markers.
I'm gonna do a quick shout out too, because there's
Hashtag
this
chemical.
super cool guy who owns a cafe here in Vancouver called the Lion's Den, and he's African, or no, he's Jamaican. Sorry, he's Jamaican. Yeah,
making
oh
me crazy.
shit! Oh shit!
Ooh.
No, but he's Jamaican. His wife's Japanese, and they run Japaican, I believe they call it, a Japaican
Nice.
fusion
I
restaurant.
like that.
And like he brings you in, he tells you the story. They have a stuffed lion. He tells you the story. He invites you into his culture and shit, and he wants you to celebrate. So there's the thing. There's the inviting and the celebrating, but how much do you have to do for that thing to be okay that many of those people would be okay with you doing? But then, like, we live in an oversensitive culture where it's, and obviously cultural appropriation is a thing. It can be
Yeah.
done
Sure.
extremely incorrectly,
And
and
you know, but the thing is, you know when it's offensive.
you do,
and then
yeah.
Especially
People are-
nowadays,
yeah,
it's
but
impossible not
Party
to
kids
know.
wearing Indian ceremonial headdresses, yes, not great.
Yes.
Or First
Going,
Nation,
going out to
sorry.
Halloween for any particular race as a costume, I feel is inappropriate.
And painting
Yeah, you can be
yourself
yeah,
to
you can be
match.
Michael
It's
Jackson
a
without
lot.
doing blackface.
That's the thing.
Yes.
I disagree.
You can't be
Okay.
Michael Jackson.
Our
without-
soundboard guy disagrees. Let me.
I mean, if
Cultural appropriation, I feel, isn't
Okay.
a thing.
I
I find that because the world is globalizing so
Oh, we should
fast.
just give it to him.
It's too.
Yeah.
I don't want to share my fucking microphone.
Woo.
Fuck off! I'm an only
This is
child.
this is
I don't
this is
share
our
well.
higher power speaking right now.
So I disagree. I find cultural appropriation really not a thing because we live in an age where globalization, like everything is so small, the world is so tiny, and culture evolves over time. A culture is always a mixture of other cultures and other traditions coming together. So cultural appropriation, I don't really think is a thing. Maybe like assimilation of other cultures is.
Cultural oppression and assimilation is most certainly a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then if you do it in a way where that voice isn't stifled so they know where it's coming from.
But everybody's going to feel like their culture is getting stifled if it's being mixed with another culture.
I'm not, because I have no culture personally. I don't have anything
That's
I
the
connect
thing.
to that way.
In Canada,
Yeah.
it's hard to connect with that because
Especially when
it's
we're like we're not a melting pot.
We're a multicultural society.
absolutely
We're
multicultural.
super
Yeah.
multicultural.
We're just a
we're
gumbo,
cooking
and
pot.
it's just natural. We don't question it so much.
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, and I just feel like with like the thing with a cultural
Thank you.
appropriation is that like the people that are getting offended aren't the people of that culture. They're just these social
Generally,
justice
yeah.
warriors that are like, I want to call it because that's just the negative person that I am. And then there's like times that like like there's been controversies where the people that are like, no, like this person wearing like what was it like it's
If you're talking about the dress the girl
the
wore to
prom dress,
prom.
yeah, where they're like, no, this is beautiful. We want, or like even like the little girl who wanted to have a geisha birthday party.
with the with a proper tea ceremony. They had
Yeah.
it all set up like
And
it
I
was
feel like
with
that
the
is so
Japanese tea.
fantastic
Like
to-
Yeah,
to
that's probably
appreciate.
studied too,
Absolutely.
they
To
know what it
appreciate
is.
another
and they
culture.
did it like really beautifully. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
But then people are like, no, that's because you're white.
little
That's
girls
not
can't do
right."
that because
That's
they're
racist.
white
Martin,
and
we
like.
need somebody on the
ugh.
podcast to play devil's advocate.
That's fair
Because
though.
all of you agree.
Yeah.
And
Well, I haven't
the
really given my
problem
2
is,
cents,
is
but
I'm under the impression like, why does it matter?
it
If
doesn't.
one person decides to wear a Chinese dress, or one person decides to dress up to what they would themselves consider a Mexican or something, it shouldn't offend some person 5,000 kilometers away where it literally has no bearing on their lives, aside
Yeah.
from, I read it in the email one day, I'm going to walk away, 2 minutes later, forget about it. It doesn't affect these people's lives personally, but a lot of people take it personally, which is why it's a big issue.
Well, I think it comes with people trying to feel important. I mean, if they see something on the internet that they don't agree with, or, oh, I want my voice to be heard, and they fight and they fight and they fight for their voice, but their voice doesn't matter because they're just peons like the rest of us. When we're trying to advocate for peace, they're trying to advocate for diversification, which is absolutely ridiculous in the sense that we should be able to appropriate another person's
Well-
culture. And the cultural appropriation, like, whole deal is literally only North America. If you go to Japan and you ask them, what do you think about this girl's dress? They're going to say, it's beautiful and she looks nice in it, because that was done previously.
Yeah, guys,
and
it's not them,
they,
it's us.
They have actually asked people from Japan what they think of that particular dress, and they said that they really appreciated that she wore it. And this has happened before with a
Well, no,
celebrity
it's people
going on
here
stage.
doing it. We're just
And yes.
These are the social
It's-
justice warriors that somehow feel like this is wrong, and for whatever reason they get offended by everything.
This
well,
isn't
we're-
social justice. This is
basically-
social diversification.
We're within a civil war in our own culture of people like being, there's white guilt for one thing, because of, which is also a stupid thing, because we're not guilty of the sins of our forebears.
We
and
benefit
everything
from
like
it.
that. We benefit from them, but how are we supposed to stop? What is the
Yeah.
right answer? Would you, and then when someone else is benefiting somewhere across the world, you don't think that like all countries have fucked with each other, and yes, the winner has managed to come to a place where they've gotten the best stuff out of it, But then also, if you look at it, white people are a minority in the view of the world. Give it a couple decades, guys. We're just going to be dwindling out. I'm not mad about that. There's like white nationalists who are freaking out about that shit. I don't give a fuck. But
we're all gray. Fuck it.
The British Empire and America, the way that those have, like, globally, they were
Yeah.
a powerhouse for just so long, and right, the majority of those populations are white.
But
So now, just because of all that history, whenever people think about white people, you usually think of, oppressive, controlling, dominating, governing, things like that, right? Because that's just how it was for the past 300 X.
For sure.
And that's
I
how
feel
it
like
had
that
to
was
be
like
at
very
one point.
like American, where they've kind of started their own history and stuff like that. Like,
sorry, Sassy Mike Holding 101.
like, yeah,
Calling
hey,
out
Commander
What up,
Snowflake.
Commander Soulflake?
Hey.
How you doing, man?
Snowflakes.
Sorry, I got really excited. It's Commander Snowflake.
Commander Snowflake's been around for a long time. He's G.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's also a Stardew Valley. Like we that's how
Oh,
we met
sick.
him.
Oh no, yeah, you were giving me tips when we were playing and stuff.
The tip.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he
Just
he
the
was
tip.
coming on. But yeah, and I feel like with the when settlers from
Catan?
I was about to say
Catan,
that.
Yeah, where like they've come over to Canada and stuff, but I feel like the way Canada was, culturalized, I guess you can kind of say, was a little bit more open and diverse because I remember asking well,
We
better
murdered
than the
millions of
States.
people.
Better than the States.
No, it was the same.
It
All of
was
us
pretty-
murdered
pretty much
millions.
the same. I looked into it today.
We just had more beavers.
Yes.
Because I
There's
looked
a
into
lot
my
more
own background.
African American slavery.
What are you
in
saying no
America.
to?
In Canada?
Not in
Not in
Canada.
Canada.
in
No,
the
in,
United
yeah,
States.
right. But that's what I'm trying to say is that that was more over there. But like in Canada, from like me looking into its own history and stuff.
Sure.
Like I remember
Just because
asking my
Americans
family,
love
being
it.
like, "Oh, what's our heritage?" They're like, "Oh, well, you do have a little bit of Native American," because apparently every French person that came over was like, "Hey there."
Yeah.
Yeah, because the
Like,
indigenous
they
people
were
were
together.
fucking
The
hot.
Métis were a
And
big
then
deal.
Have you
we
seen
were the ones-
Pocahontas?
Bad thing in Canada's history
No, Pocahontas is
how we
American.
treated our indigenous.
And continue.
First Nation,
Yes.
Japanese,
Of
and
course.
Chinese got a rough deal
Although,
too.
At some point, I kind of agree with you. You gotta cut it off.
Yeah, it's been a long time, but like,
I
There,
don't think that we should have to pay for the sins of our fathers.
That's the thing.
we have to understand when
Yeah.
culturally there is problems and how we can work together to make people part of the society and everything like that. And there has to be a way to do that. But at the same time, I refuse to accept guilt for something and I agree that I have white privilege. There's things that white people did that have landed me something in my life. But at the same time, I am nowhere up in the top
yeah. What is it? You're living-
privileged people in Canada. There's
Yeah,
plenty of people who have way more privilege than I was born.
Race has its own set of
Oh,
privileges.
absolutely.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, stifling people based on their race, even if they're the race with the currently most privilege, is not correct. And I do think you need to have an open dialogue. Even as we have one, it's kind of one-sided because we're not representing other races very well.
Hey.
But at the
That's a pretty
same
good
time,
point.
you need to be able to express yourself to make others understand you, and then others can better express themselves so you can understand them. So if we
Yeah.
don't do this, because I'm not saying I'm right, because I'm young. I don't think I'll ever fully know anything. 'Cause
No, you would have to take an
people-
8-year
People are
education.
Yeah.
No, people are ridiculous emotional beings where half the shit we say isn't based on facts, it's based on feelings.
Yeah.
And that's what currently a lot of this stuff is. It's feelings of how things are as opposed to how things are exactly.
And
That's it. We're creating
But
Vulcan
we're so
society.
many people. How are you supposed to do that?
And it's exactly like you said. I mean, it's a matter of entitlement.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody feels entitled. However, the world's not fair. The world's not
Not
evenly distributed
At all.
And
Yeah.
like even between all of us, there's probably vast differences just between the 5 of us here.
For
Mhm.
sure.
Like, but
Upbringing and
everybody feels like they're
circumstantial.
entitled to the exact same thing.
Yeah. But that's you can't
which
guarantee
they're
that.
not.
And
It's
we
so
can't,
difficult.
And you can't blame. Like, you can be mad at them all I want. When I meet a rich person, I don't like them if they're born rich. I'm like, fuck you. But like, you can't blame them for being born rich. It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
their fault. I mean, sure, fuck that guy
And
for
it
having
depends
way
on
more
like
money
their
than me.
attitude
But
if they are entitled about their money and stuff,
then,
and,
yeah,
they, and
then
they have
definitely
this
fuck that person.
right. And that's where I feel like you
You don't get to learn those
people
lessons.
aren't.
Man, this went
You know,
controversial.
Yeah, I know, yeah. I'm like, let's
We're
talk
gonna
about.
get
This is
fucking
why I didn't
murdered.
want to do the blog, guys.
For somebody who is hyper rich, who are a self-made rich person,
Yeah.
but are complete assholes.
Yeah.
I don't generally like. There's respecting the ability to gain the wealth, but not respecting them as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Correct? So it's like,
Tom Cruise,
yeah,
Fair.
yeah,
great
yeah.
actor, awful human being.
Yeah.
Bad person. Bad person.
True.
Tom Cruise, we were talking about, just so everyone gets who we're
Wow,
talking
the most controversial
I gotta get
point
some
of
water.
this entire podcast.
Do we want to slip away
Fuck
from that
Tom
now
Can
and
we-
go to...
Can
go
we
to the next
segue?
topic? Yeah.
Yeah, we can segue.
Moving on to the next question.
Let's talk about
Here we go.
flowers and
Funny how
forests.
D&D turns
The
into an
So-
argument over race. Here you go,
It
man.
wasn't an argument.
I'm
It was a
gonna say,
conversation.
yeah, it's
I can't believe we did this. without
constructive.
I know. Dewell would be all up on this.
Well,
That's true.
Dewell would be the one person that would make
No,
this
yeah, you would-
a diversified cast. Other than that, we have
Yeah,
Are
White
you
white
going
and
to say
kind
that
of
Max
Asian people.
is just straight white? Are you?
Yeah,
Or do
whoa,
you not even
whoa.
know her culture at
Here's
all?
the thing,
Yeah.
but here's the thing. Even with that, I'm half Indonesian, half Dutch, but I'm very clearly white presenting because
Whitewash?
I was
White
I was born with
presenting.
really light skin, so I have that privilege of not having those kinds of things put on me. Unless people are Filipino or Indonesian, then they immediately ask me if I love karaoke. But I mean, it's
My-
That's not the that's
My
not the
question
worst.
is-
That's not the worst.
no, for sure. But
What is
even
it, stereotype to
From your
get put on you?
Indonesian
You like karaoke?
my
Yeah.
like my
Yeah.
mom is Indonesian.
You're
Everything
like,
in her
I
family.
do.
Ah,
Her
shit.
grandparents moved to the Netherlands.
But how much culture have you appropriated?
Oh my
from
God,
How
that
much
would be
culture of that do you
ridiculous,
involve
'cause it's
in your
immediate.
life?
immediate.
Here's the thing with
Yeah.
that, it's
Let's get
hugely
them
food
stats.
We're
culture.
segueing
Okay.
though,
'Cause
right?
That's okay, fair.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I had a
Fair
question.
enough.
I wanted it answered, Alan.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, so I don't know about you guys, but I have been feeling monumentally better and more happy just in the last couple weeks with the weather changes. How has that affected you guys in the past
Well,
like 2-3 weeks?
People that are depressed are actually vitamin D deficient.
That's why it's called depression. It's
They're like
Depression.
They're
they're
not.
is-
You don't have
They're
to.
deficient.
That's not a guarantee. It's not like
Everyone-
every depressed person. No vitamin
Yeah,
D.
everyone who is depressed that I've ever spoken to,
Exactly.
and like if you look into it and
I
stuff
was
like that,
allergic
they're
to the
like,
sun. Is
I'm
that
like,
why I'm
okay,
depressed?
you know, are you
Shit.
taking multivitamins? Are you taking, vitamin D? They're like, well, no. I'm like, do you get all that? No, I never get out because I'm depressed and I want to stay. I'm like,
sure, you
you need
can-
to take vitamin D and it'll make you a little bit more happy and it'll enrich your life just by a little
But
bit.
there is a difference between depression and clinical depression. There's
Yeah.
people who are legitimately just depressed.
No,
That
I'm
is a
not-
mental thing. And then you can become depressed if you become a shut-in. Anyone locked in a basement, given food, but like no sun and lack of activity, you're going to be depressed. But
Yeah.
that's different than the disease.
Yeah, but there's still
What's all-
vitamin like that one
It's
vitamin
a
depressant and
mental
also
But
illness.
it's
omega
not
3.
not
It's
every depressed person is because of vitamin D.
No, but
Yeah.
I'm just
okay.
like,
I
take
guess
your
the
vitamin D,
question-
kids.
saying it's vitamin D is treating the symptom and not
That's
the.
that's the thing with that though is I
You know what I was trying to say.
Yeah,
Yes.
I get
I
what you mean.
personally was the most depressed when I was the most physically active. I played 3 different sports all throughout high school. I was outside almost every single day, and I was still like the worst place
Mentally
like
boondocked.
actually fucked.
You
But
like
that's
kick the
just-
ball,
it's
you're like,
just
fuck this.
circumstance.
Ask Martin, I got a lot going for me, like in my personal life, but I'm depressed like crazy.
The
Just-
thing,
And you
thing
have
that
so
I'm
many
most
windows.
concerned
It
about-
just is, and it's hard.
The
But
thing that
that's-
makes me wonder is that under optimal circumstances, if you were given all of the opportunities, all of okay, if you had a problem and it could be solved and they worked to solve that problem, they helped you get all of your health on track when it comes to multivitamins, everything that you should be taking every day, and what does it take to cure depression?
Here's
That's
the
the
thing,
fucking
Martin.
question.
It's not
Here's
I
the
don't think
difference.
I
they've
don't- they
figured
don't
it
have
out.
a
Like, look
cure
at
yet.
these celebrities that are, they have the money, they have the means and stuff like that. Like Robin Williams, he
But here's
Like,
the thing, like
depression rehab?
here's my thing
Is
with
that a thing?
depression.
No.
It's the
No.
difference
Therapy,
between
but-
depression in well-developed countries and then non-developed countries. Because places where it's hard every single day, there's a lot of labor that goes into every single day and it's a struggle. They don't know depression because depression is for people who are comfortable in their lives and aren't really fighting for like
suicide
of
is
means.
a privilege of the wealthy.
Yeah, it's a luxury.
We are, the more you have, because this is the thing, people think the more I get, the happier I'll be. It's not true. The more shit you get, the more senseless pleasures, the more stuff, the more money, the more power, the more it's gonna make you question shit. If you have to work every day or struggle to survive, you're not gonna be happy, but you're not gonna worry about killing yourself because you're too busy surviving. And
Yeah.
the thing is, that's why Buddhists who truly kind of will achieve, it's not, once again, not happiness. Eternal happiness isn't a thing. There is contentment is the
Yeah.
best you can hope for, and that's what Buddhists achieve, and it's just being okay in the moment.
We're looking
Do you-
for eternal, or
Being
like
very
internal
present,
peace.
yeah.
Internal
Yeah.
peace, yeah. Just
You gotta
being,
align your chakras.
you just but you just gotta be
That's okay.
you just gotta be okay
basis.
with your shit.
They all look the
But
same.
the thing is, Robin
Fucking
Williams
racist.
is like a talented person who craved attention, got attention. I watched a documentary on him. When he did Popeye bombed. That fucking destroyed his world. Then you'll mess with drugs and shit. And drugs can be really fun when you do them appropriately, but those can really warp reality if you're not doing them right. And then when you become this senseless craving of pleasure.
Yeah.
I wonder if, like, you know, with, say, more targeted, like, for celebrities that, you know, have all the means and the monies and stuff like that, and they have depression without really knowing it, and then when they do these drugs, like, say, like, you know, MDMA and, like, E and stuff like that, deplete your storages of, like, dopamine and, like,
Yeah.
you're and, like, to the point where your body doesn't know how to rehabilitate,
Norepinephrine
like,
and serotonin.
it doesn't know how to, like,
Yeah.
you know, get those levels back up, so then they become, like,
Worse.
accidentally clinically depressed by their own means.
I wouldn't know, obviously, not being an educated person, but like I assume that drugs have the ability to heal and hurt you. So I do believe that tampering with too many drugs and depending on what you do, you can definitely change your brain chemistry.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
So
Like, for me
It's an
personally,
I just had this
a
interesting thought about
serotonin
it. Yeah.
reuptake inhibitor.
serotonin reuptake inhibitor, correct?
Yeah, so
Did I say it?
my brain doesn't produce enough serotonin to keep me happy.
Okay.
Which is that's a big symptom of depression. Neurochemically,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it has to do with serotonin production and a couple of other things. So taking a serotonin reuptake inhibitor, which is usually depression and anxiety medication, will allow your brain to handle serotonin more efficiently.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Okay.
give you more. It
It's like
just-
diabetes.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
It's like putting it puts a
Diabetes.
faucet on it
Yeah.
instead of having it just.
Get little
Yeah.
get little bursts when you need it.
That's the thing, and like that's a huge problem with when people talk about depression and they talk about medication and depression. It's seen as like this weird weakness, or like you have to have to been like properly, like you must be like this insanely depressed person in order to do it, and like if you take them you'll get more depressed. It's that shit. It's absolutely not true. It can happen where people like you feel better on the drugs, and then if they stop working for you for a small period of time, it can really throw people in a loop because they might just be struggling in life and not necessarily be in that kind of like super depressed mind state, but because they were so up, the down is really
I
unmanageable.
went through
Well-
therapy for 2 years before I would let my doctors get me anywhere near drugs.
Yeah.
With
Just because you didn't
It-
want to,
it-
you
but
just
that's the
it's like
thing,
I'm
it's
not. You don't
important
want
to
to
do
say
that
it.
for
Daily
yourself.
drug every day for the rest of your life.
Yeah, it's horrible. No one wants to do
It's
that.
That's
a chore.
It's the same thing as because I have scoliosis, so when you experience kind of daily pain that's physical without a clear explanation, people do the same thing. So like, I have headaches and it's like, oh, you're being a baby, you just don't want to go to school, and it's like exercise, do this will help you, and then it makes it worse. I was working construction and I had to lie down on the job because my back tweaked out and I just couldn't stand up.
Yeah.
And the guy's looking at me like, you're what are you doing? You're fucking off. I'm like, nope. And then, but it's the thing. You have something. It's
All of those
It's like-
physical pain ailments are very difficult because
Yeah.
I have a friend who has fibromyalgia,
oh no.
and even that one is like people are like, yeah, okay.
Fibromyalgia
No.
is like, no, that's a
You're
big-
like, guys, it's gonna fucking
For
rain.
those who don't know, fibromyalgia is when
Pain
instead of
everywhere.
feeling pressure, you feel pain.
Yeah.
oh god.
I thought I had fibromyalgia for a bit because I would just feel pain randomly and then it would rain and I'm
Yeah,
like,
so
this
it's
is
like
this,
wraps your
yeah.
arm
oh my god, yeah, the rain pains. I get those as I get older.
I get those in my wrists.
Ah,
I don't
like,
know
my
if
wrist
I'm
gets
not
really-
like attuned enough or just fucking different than all you guys.
I'm
I
different.
feel so
I'm
fucking
different.
different. Like it's hard for me to relate with a lot of this stuff.
Well,
actually.
okay, so
Yeah.
this is where, like, you know, with people talking about mental health a lot more, it's because like back then it was like they didn't want to talk about it because, you know, you didn't want to like think that something was wrong with you. It was
Yeah.
very hush hush. It was like even back in the days, it was like you're a witch. You're like, you know, somebody- like you're a mental person. Like you're gonna get
Yeah.
like all this.
You're gonna
jazz.
end up killing someone.
But,
It's okay,
Yeah.
Martin. We'll fix you.
but now
To-
and like
Eventually,
broken
yeah.
down.
Is
Yeah.
that
Broken
the
birds
problem?
attract other broken
well,
birds.
like, but that's the thing. Like now people
Am
are
I
able
too
to talk
broken or
about
not
it because
broken
like
enough?
social media is so vast and like you know you're
Break me.
able
You
to
would know.
portray your thoughts in a more open and then vast type of way. So more people are wanting to talk about it, which I feel like is a great thing.
Oh, it's
yeah.
fantastic.
I'm confused about Martin's point. What do you mean that you don't connect to it?
I like it's weird because when you talk about depression, I feel like at one point I relate, but at another I feel like I can do something about it. And from where you guys are standing, you feel like you can't do anything about depression.
I didn't.
That's
well,
not
no. So
necessarily
that's
true,
clinical.
though.
Once
That's-
again,
so that
I've
perspective is
I've
wrong?
had
Yeah.
depression,
Yeah.
but I had not clinical, nothing to do
was, like,
with
situational?
It was situational. I was young. I didn't understand myself. I had a lot of shit put on me by other people of how I was supposed to be. I was far too small for my age. I didn't get along with anybody. Shit like that.
I can
And-
relate with all of that.
But that's the thing that puts you in the dumps. You have really bad mental situation, and
Yep.
like equivocally, my mood couldn't just go up. I had a solidly low mood because of all these things.
Yep.
But as those problems went away, as I started to find myself, my mood got to a point where now my baseline isn't upset. So I
Yeah.
would
I
you
can agree
wake
with
up
that.
and you would be upset. You wake up and you're just there's nothing wrong, but you're upset. Like nothing currently is a problem, but you're hurt.
Now,
I feel like-
there is a difference between just straight up depression, which almost everybody experiences at
Yeah.
one point
Oh,
in
yeah.
Yeah.
their life, and then there's chronic depression.
Yeah.
Chronic is
Where
like,
you actually it hurts you too. Like
Yeah,
it'll hurt
because
you
there's
physically.
varying degrees. You can have somebody who's just really sad sometimes,
Mhm.
or they feel down in the dumps for a week or two, but they're not depressed.
But this
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
the thing that confuses people when it is just like, oh, a 2-week slump. That happens when something bad happens.
Yeah.
But like real depression will look a couple months to a year of something really bad happening or a really weird mental issue that you aren't getting over, and that can actually be fixed by therapy.
There's a lot of misconception around what depression
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
and what it means for a person.
I
'Cause
feel like it's a very
it's more
gray
than
area.
one thing, really. Like
it's also because people like
expands over.
sling that around a lot. Is like,
Yeah.
especially now that the conversation about it is opening up more. Everybody's like, well, now everybody suddenly has depression, and
it's
it like
well,
kind of
yeah,
gets
everyone
devalued.
should be just like you should at least experience depression. Like it's not just
well,
like
it's
a
normal as a
one-person thing.
human being to
Yeah.
experience struggle for like.
And just because you're like,
bursts of
oh well,
time.
I'm
Yeah.
shonger than that, and I get over it. It's like, yeah,
I
it's
just
hard.
think
Shit.
positively,
Yeah,
and then I'm
yeah.
happy.
I find
Yeah.
as we as a country or as a planet are moving forward and advancing technologically and socially and things,
Spiritually.
how much information do each of you have flying at your faces on a daily basis that
I limit
like,
it.
80 or 90% of it you don't need? or
Oh,
don't
for
need to
sure,
know?
yeah,
Like,
tons of useless
That's where a lot
information.
of the anxiety is coming from in people now. Like there's so many cases of anxiety and depression nowadays because I mean, think about just how much shit you have to worry about now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming at your face, you have so many things to worry about. You have to worry about like global war now.
Nope.
You have to worry about all
Yeah.
the shit that's going on in other countries.
Nope.
Whereas like a couple of years ago,
I don't.
the globalization wasn't to
Yeah.
a point where people could be like, oh man, I know exactly what's going on. way over here,
Exactly.
way over here."
But-
They
Within
have to worry about their
seconds.
little bubble.
Within
But
seconds.
Martin,
Yeah.
there is
I
a
try and keep
thing.
my bubble as clear as possible.
Is it weird that I don't have that wide expansion? Like I don't fucking care what's going on over there.
No.
If I
But
can't do
there's
anything
like,
about
there's
it,
the
then
two sides of it, right? It's the people who know, like what's happening. You just don't follow it closely and let it affect your day to day.
yes.
There's
But-
a difference
See,
between
but Martin,
like following
Martin
it.
does. I just don't think he does it because I do this too. I compartmentalize. So when horrible things are happening, like global war, let's say, I don't actually worry too much about that. It's gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I can't do anything about it. I don't actually worry too much about that. But it's little things, Martin, I think that will get to you. I think it's little things about what you want for yourself. You'll see someone you respect say something,
Yes.
and that'll get to you. And that's flying at you.
Yeah.
So you'll hear, usually in the day-to-day, what you have like two role models. Maybe it's your like parent or something.
I don't
like
think I have
in,
a role
in a very
model.
primitive world.
And,
I
like,
think
I
you
can
have,
be your role model.
but you
fucked.
you have the
Really?
you
On
have
some level.
Let
Not
it be
from
yourself 5
somebody.
years
It
from
doesn't have to
now.
be a person. It could be a thing.
But
it
think
could be,
about
like,
just when you talk about
in a childhood that
Yeah.
you've been going to.
when you go to
Otters.
a tournament and you go, I want to be the best at a tournament. It may not be the best person at that tournament, but that position is your role model. You are making things in your life that you need, that you don't actually need, but you're
Yeah.
putting little things in all your little things.
You that you could have been.
And you won't even
Yeah.
know that that's
you want to
necessarily
be.
happening either. It's not in your mind.
He's like,
It
I'm
was like
depressed now.
I got extremely angry one day at Max and Laz, and they're like, Alan, you're being a giant asshole. I was like, I don't know why. And I literally didn't. I was like, it was Trump. And then it just like brought up. And I was just so upset that Trump was a thing. This one he's getting elected. And I was so upset that this was messing with all the faculties in my life,
Your
what was
chi.
sorted. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that was what was just totally stressing me the
I
fuck
feel
out.
like too, like with some people, they don't realize that they're making themselves more depressed, and it's a very like
Yeah.
you know, because I remember when I was younger, my dad had a friend that would come over, and the only way that he was able to really have a conversation was to talk about the news and all the awful things that were going on. My dad was like, and it was just what he said. He's like, if you keep watching the news, you're always going to be upset, you're always going to be sad, and you're always going to be angry, because you're making everything that's happening in the world personal.
Yeah.
And I remember from that day on, and I actually like part of my book was kind of about that, where like, you know, the media really affects the way people are in tune about fear and like, you know, hating themselves or being you know, upset and depressed of like how the world is. And that's why I actually blocked a lot of news media from my Facebook, because I would read about murder, torture, like animals.
All those
They
horrible
just have
things.
to get and like,
Yeah.
and that's the thing, like I would deliberately go out of my way to read a story about animal torture and make myself so upset and sad about it.
On
yeah.
the record.
What did,
And like
what
even
did
about
they-
people, like you like to find out like people were murdered and like or were dead in a certain way, like I was making myself depressed, so I had to really like cut that shit out, because I realized what it was doing to
It's
like
called
my own mentality.
sad porn or something, and
Sad
it's like
porn.
you're just purposely trying to shock yourself into emotion.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm like
To-
Stop reacting to my messages.
Seriously, it's supposed to be low key.
To go back to
Low-key.
the very beginning of the conversation, my mood has been great since it's been sunny.
Excellent. That's
Yay,
perfect.
vitamin D.
Yeah.
take your
It is-
multivitamins,
it's
guys.
legit. Sun and like activity is great for you. It is actually bumming me out because our friend Jack always made us go places, and now I'm really missing Jack because
Well,
he was
like-
like our
Yeah.
Okay,
the big
so
friend.
obviously my mentality toward, you know, mental illness and stuff like that comes from like the lack of like vitamins and minerals that our body requires. And I'm not like, obviously I'm like, buy some multivitamins, guys. But the thing is, like with a lot of people, it's like they don't realize that they're lacking a lot of stuff that's throwing their whole hormones out of balance. Because,
Yeah.
you know, I look at, you know, a lot of people, my one friend where she has schizophrenia, she has depression, she has anxiety, all this jazz. But I'm like, I look at her diet and I'm
Yeah.
like, you don't have a sufficient amount of like vitamins and minerals that your body requires to function regularly. And it's also because of like where you live.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, obviously in the West Coast, we don't have oceans
Yeah.
viable to us. We're like, there was one time a doctor prescribed someone.
West Coast definitely does have oceans.
Yeah, no, sorry, East Coast, East Coast.
Yeah.
I meant
Like
East Coast.
isn't
East
that why
Coast.
it's also a coast?
East Coast
yeah,
also
like
has
East Coast,
oceans.
but like where like
Where we're
Ontario
from.
is. Yeah, like where
Exactly.
there's
It's
like
In the
sandwiched
center.
in
I don't
between.
understand that. I
Central
don't
Canada.
Central Canada.
I don't
There
know-
we go.
East Coast or
Central
West?
Canada.
So
I
there's
just like
no
forget
coast.
the last 10 seconds of my conversation.
Roger.
happens?
I don't think
Shit.
lack of ocean makes you depressed. I don't prefer the ocean.
No, but what I'm saying is like the ocean is actually a very high amount of vitamins and minerals that we're actually lacking, like, you know, like our iodines and like everything's found in seaweed and stuff
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
my-
That we don't
As an
get.
ex-sailor who has spent a lot of time at sea, you can get super depressed at sea.
Oh,
To-
yeah.
That,
Are you
that's a
swimming in
totally
the
different
ocean?
situation, though.
Huh?
Yeah,
Are
that
you
is very
swimming in the
different.
ocean?
You're breathing it in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but did you know the most effective way for your body to absorb vitamins and minerals is your integumentary system, which is your skin?
Yeah.
So you're telling me
No,
I
I
should
didn't
take a
know that.
nutrient bath every day?
Well, like there was actually a doctor that prescribed
That'd
someone
be-
with depression to sit in the ocean every day.
Well, I mean,
And
it's
they
it's
That's
worked for
meditation
them,
It's
but, like,
womb
obviously
soup.
that's
Is
just
that
an
placebo
anecdote.
or is
that
it
is-
like
that is the
Yeah.
soup from which
Science.
we were wrought. I believe. So here's the thing, though. Like, I do believe that you're correct in the fact that with exercise and diet, living correctly, you can boost your mood and your general health. That being said, especially for schizophrenia, that's a big whoop-de-doo
Yeah.
in the face of that. I
Yeah.
think
Well-
your base life will do that, and it is a weird thing where people will know and say that to others, but it's so hard for us to do it for ourselves.
Yeah. Well, okay. I forgot
it-
to mention. So with my friend with schizophrenia, it's like with her diet that I had kind of noticed was that she always had like TV dinners, like like just like very like chemically high
So
ingredients.
she's
like,
not
yeah.
doing herself favors.
Yeah,
but-
exactly. And that's from my own mentality. I'm just like, I wish that, like, you know, obviously humans just haven't inhabited everywhere in the world, where I feel like it's not very beneficial for us in general, where we, like, you know, we can be in areas that are very like more like the way the culture has become with like wheat and like vegetables, and like when we get transported like fruits and vegetables, like they lose 30% of their vitamins and
No.
minerals just being transported. So like
Yeah.
what are we really getting from that, unless you're making like this soil nutrient based thing with a garden and you're going out to your garden, you're eating your fruits, and I feel like that would be the most effective, but people aren't willing to do that.
Yeah.
And they
It's
don't have the
difficult.
reasonces to even do that.
It's not even
com-
that
I
difficult,
completely
though.
agree that
You
a
ever grow a
better
plant? That's hard.
diet, exercise, and everything does
I
improve
can
your
only grow
life.
cactus.
Oh, sorry.
Try growing pumpkins. It's
it does
impossible to
improve
fuck
your
up.
life, but at the
Nice.
same time, I
Literally.
think
hate
there's this
pumpkins.
mentality that this time way long ago
To get closer.
that
We
that
thought we
when
were loud enough.
like back like 100 years ago or whatever, people are always like, people just used to be happy. It's not true. People didn't just used to be happy.
Fuck no,
People
yeah.
put
No.
on this happy face. There was a general thing. It's like you think
Because
back
it wasn't
to
talked about.
you think back to the
Exactly.
50s, like we just got married and it was fine. It's fine. It's like no, there was still adult rules. There was like a lot more abuse.
Your
there
husband
was,
could beat
there
the
was
fuck
more
out of you.
crime.
Trapped
There
in
was
a
a lot
marriage.
more obvious racism, but we like put this little thing, and it used to be better. It's never been better. It's
Yeah.
getting better now. We're moving forward.
Getting
And I do
better all the
think
time.
Eating right, exercising, and yeah, being out in the sun, experiencing nature is a very good thing to have. And when you shut yourself in with a computer screen, you're going to depress yourself. But it's not a go cure for everything. And that's
the
the one
thing,
thing.
yeah.
I do think it's valid advice to do that, especially when you have something like depression, where there's nothing we can just do. So the best thing you can do is try and get your life as right as possible.
Yeah.
That is a viable thing for a lot of people who are out living hard lives. But the thing is, we can't use it as that's
It's
your
not a cookie cutter program.
it's it's
right?
not. But it is a good. It's not a solution, but it's a fix. It's a band-aid.
Yeah.
But it's what you should do.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
the thing,
Yeah,
like,
depression's a
Depression
giant
is
gray area.
super
It's like
singular.
autism.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. That's
Great.
why when people think of like depression medication and they classify it all as like the same one thing, where it's like if you're taking this medication, you're just targeting depression, or you're just doing this and this. Like what I take to what has increased my mood like immensely is I used to have really, really bad insomnia, so I'd literally just spend days awake. And it got to the point where a lot of the time when I was in high school, I would get so distracted because I would literally be hallucinating because of the lack of sleep. And that just added to my depression because it made me way more anxious and everything, because I kept like, it just really threw off my like reality. And that's why when I saw Fight Club, it's so like accurate the way he described insomnia. It's like you're a copy of a copy and you're not really living your own life. You're just kind of like watching it happen.
Yeah.
But what I'm taking now is antidepressant, it's mood stabilizing, and then anti-anxiety, and for sleep. And just by getting regulated sleep every single day, it's cut my anxiety and depression just in half.
Yeah.
But that's only because I was able to feed that one side of my system where it's like you have
Yeah.
to sleep
What-
and you have to have rhythm in your life.
Holy shit. Talking about sleeping, guys. Made the best discovery change of my entire
Oh
life
my
like a week
goodness.
ago.
All right.
For my whole life, I've been sleeping with 2 pillows.
I tried melatonin, never
2
worked for
pillows
me.
under my head.
Okay.
That's good
yeah.
though.
I
Okay.
never take high dose.
The other
Well, that's
day,
what I was-
Courtney
yeah.
was like, no. Try 1 pillow. It'll help your esophagus
Well, because
and help
like
you
the
sleep
way he
better.
was sleeping with like
It
snoring
is,
and stuff
yeah.
like that, and like his
Yeah.
sleep apnea, which I'm pretty sure he.
I don't
has,
have sleep apnea. Shut up.
literally
You
sounds like
stop
he's
breathing in
choking.
your
You would
sleep,
know
and
by
Yeah, it sounds
yeah.
like he's
Yeah.
choking when he suddenly realizes that he's not breathing. He's like, and I'm
As
like,
it-
oh god.
that
I've never woke up from it as far as I
Yeah,
can tell.
he just
Pinball.
goes.
You don't
Esque
necessarily
noise.
wake up. You won't
Melatonin
remember.
is light,
You don't
skull
remember.
cap
It's like
really
when you
knocks
wake
you
up in the
out.
middle of the night and then
Takes
you don't
long enough.
remember it in the morning. So if you go and you wake yourself up and then you lie down
It's
again.
actually fairly common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
I
like
don't feel like I have sleep
It literally
apnea. It
sounds
was
like he's,
literally
like, stopped
because I had
breathing
2
and then is,
pillows.
like, realized
Okay,
that he
so
needs to
it's-
breathe
it's-
It
again.
was
He's
2
like,
pillows. I went down to 1 pillow and I've had the best sleeps of my life for the past week, and I feel like my life is changing.
do you
Well, like,
use
okay,
a knee pillow?
with
Negative.
You gotta use that knee pillow.
I sleep on my back. I start on my
yes, yeah,
back.
okay.
But that's
Another-
good though. You put it under both knees. You kind of have like a weird.
I
sitting
can't
position,
do
but it's
that.
really
That
good for your
messes with
back.
my lumbar.
Really?
I can't do that because of my hips.
Yeah.
I have to be
I
stretched
lay
out.
on
Eh,
my side with my arm way up here and my one leg way down.
Yeah,
there.
no, I sleep
have
like
this
with one
weird
leg up.
position that's just super comfortable and
Yeah.
I curl into
Um,
a fetal position.
another
so I
question
destroy my
about-
spine.
Just to maybe
you
we
for letting
should
me
end
talk
the
about my one
discussion
pillow.
about like depression and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like my question to you guys is that like with like
so
depression and like
excited.
every other like chronic and mental illness and stuff like that, because they usually say it's like your body's reaction to different hormones and how it regulates them. It's like what causes that
What's
for our bodies to suddenly not know how to regulate certain hormones, or to like have one that throws it out of whack and the one that like doesn't work at all? And like I want to understand what the root of that is.
We are biological machines with defects. We are not perfect. We're not even good. Like, think about allergies and all the same things. We are imperfect meat things doomed to die.
We are meat sex controlled
We-
by a
We're not supposed to be on this.
We're not. No, we are. We're supposed to
We
be
are.
on the earth.
Yeah.
We are. I don't.
We were
there's
transported
nothing
here by
special about
aliens.
what we are. We're the same as like plankton. We're just
Same
the
with
world came into existence.
man.
Life
Space.
inevitably came to exist.
But like, okay, so my thing, another thing that.
As a race,
We're
though.
resilient. No, like this is the
But
thing.
the
though.
thing is,
cockroaches.
we're destroying the old world that we're living in.
effective
Like,
and
without
ineffective
us,
It's
the
okay.
world would live by itself
It's
and be
okay.
prosperous.
We'll just go to
Yeah,
another
but
world. That's fine.
We've evolved to a point that we are busting nature. Nature operates
We're
in its own
busting
way,
nature's
and
ass.
now we are doing things an
fine.
opposite way.
Nature works for us.
I
We've
want Fallout to happen
we've
anyways.
created our own diseases. Our bodies have beaten those diseases, but then that disease
Battle
grows
cats,
stronger
bruh.
again. It's just life and everything is a continual rush to get to the top, and we are winning and losing. And the thing is, we all exist so much longer now because of medical advances. But the thing, when people get
Banana.
allergies and like diseases, they're supposed to die, and then the strong live. We have kept everybody around, and now a bunch of people have problems because, hey, that was actually supposed to kill you. I would be dead for sure. I was born way too thin. I had scoliosis. I had all these things, and I would get like stomach flus fairly often. If I didn't have like a perfect house, like mother to take care of me, I'd be dead.
Immortality?
That's a
I
big,
don't like. Is immortality
subgenre.
possible? I don't even.
No, they're working on curing.
Oh, I've heard.
aging.
Yeah,
Yeah.
aging. I've heard.
They're treating it as a disease now.
That's
Yep.
terrifying.
They're saying
I
that-
can't
they're saying
wait.
That if you are over 40, you might survive. If you're over 30, chances are pretty good that you'll reach a point where humanity will
Be immortal.
be immortal or discover that.
Yeah.
If you're if you are 20 something, it's almost guaranteed.
Yeah.
Immortality.
And
Oh,
if
man.
they don't invent
Vampire
if they
bitches.
don't invent immortality biologically, they will at least advance preservation
Well,
technology to the
there's
point
people-
where they can preserve brains.
There's people
Until
who are
we're-
paying
until we
into
can do it.
having their brain data be written down and stored so that in the future they can reactivate that sort of quote unquote
like
That's
altered
that
carbon?
wouldn't be you.
Chappie,
It
anyone?
wouldn't,
Chappie?
But people are actually investing in this. I think it's like $20,000 to like have a test trial of this or whatever. And it's like people's insane obsession with like living forever, even though it's not even you. But it's just the thought that you could be
The
Not only
legacy
that,
and
our
out there
bodies aren't even
forever.
really our bodies. Every 7 years they recycle
Exactly.
every single cell.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
If you
so
do it right.
If I consider myself my mind, my body is the only reason my mind exists. So it's always my body. I control it.
Jim
We
Carrey-
only get one body.
But that's
alive,
just
guys.
a
That's not
philosophical.
even
s-
necessarily
That's just
true,
a
though.
that's
Well,
a
not
different
anymore.
You can
philosophical
replace
standpoint.
parts of your body so easily, and then they won't.
No,
be,
like meaning like like you only get one body, so treat it right. Where it's like if you get rid of your own body by destroying it, then you can't
But
be
I
like half
also-
human with like a human head.
I come from
Or
a
like
family that
Futurama
doesn't
style.
want
Yeah,
to live
right?
forever.
Let me in a fucking
We're
dome.
not there yet.
No, my dad drinks all the time. He's like, I don't want to live to be 100. Fuck that. I want to be out by like 80. Just
My parents are just religious nut jobs, so they want
Okay.
Really quickly.
Yeah. Rinsler, have you
As
have you
fast as
followed yet?
possible. I want that one train ticket up to.
If you could choose immortality, would you choose immortality? Thumbs up for yes.
Hell yeah.
I'm so bad at just doing this without asking questions. I have so many
That's the
questions
thing,
for
there's
parameters
so
and shit.
many things that go into that.
Just imagine for you ideal immortality.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that would be.
Think young, think, you know.
Whatever
That's
you
why
want
I
to think.
picture like
See,
you know.
me-
No,
me,
Space
immo-
travel
Dr.
is
Rogers,
also
this
a
is-
must for
this
me.
is
I
real
want
life
to be
now.
able to leave and
Like,
like go
just talk
somewhere.
about
For
your
me,
D&D avatars.
immortality
No, not
better
anymore.
be in a fucking robot body. I don't want
It's
this
a
fucking
D&D.
piece of flesh. Give me a robot body.
Yeah,
The
exactly,
brain
right?
named itself.
Fun
It
fact,
did,
the
and
brain
it's
named
continually
itself.
trying to find things out about its own being and existence and reasoning. and
The brain.
function.
The brain is the
First
one
is
thing
one.
that can't
Brain
figure out
is
itself.
fucked.
You mean like Pinky and the Brain? That's what he's doing with his life
No,
now?
no, sorry,
Yeah.
no, sorry, Mr. Rogers. We're actually off D&D avatars now.
Yeah.
His name is
Talking about-
But
Dr.
I'm glad you're
Rogers.
still
Mr.
here.
Rogers was his father.
I
That's what he
apologize.
said before.
But it's his name is.
No, his name is Mr. Rogers.
says
He
I'm
is
Mr.
Mr.
Rogers.
Rogers. You don't get to
named
fuck around
himself
like that.
Dr. Rogers.
Well, he
That's
said
how
that
he
as
came
a
up.
I'm
joke.
Dr. Rogers.
If he named
Yeah.
himself Dr. Rogers, his name would be I'm Dr. Rogers.
But let's go on to a new. Let's go to a new
Fucking
question
guy.
because we keep bogging down into super deep topics.
But that's
and
how awesome we are.
It's true.
We're so, yeah.
Yeah, stop fucking talking,
It's
sound
an
guy.
interesting conversation.
I know.
Yeah.
And I'm an
need it.
interested conversationalist.
Yeah.
No, you're a sound guy.
That's what I like
Shush.
most about our group, guys, is that we can have these very like interesting conversations and discussions
Yeah.
about various like opinions and never be like rude to one another.
Oh, fuck you,
or-
Courtney. Shut up.
Hey.
I'm waiting for the first
I'm
person.
offended.
I'm waiting for the first person to actually kind of get snippy with another one.
I
Just
would
like,
literally just make a vlog and be like, Alan, go fuck yourself. And just, like, end it there. And
it would
Jesus.
definitely be at me. There's no way the
That's
first
true.
anger
I
vlog
feel
isn't
like that's
pointed
just
at
not,
me.
Yeah.
I
It's
just live
impossible
on
for it
Messenger's
not to
life.
be
Help
you.
send food.
Okay, what's
No
your
food
question,
for the
baby?
sound guy.
Did I write down the list? Did I
Oh, do
take
you want
a
me to
look
go
at the
too?
list?
Yeah,
How did you send that
Somebody-
to me?
Did I
Well, what
take
about
a
the
look?
the
I
whole, like,
got
other
it.
vlog
I
thing. Like, have you guys
got
like
it.
went out and tried to find other vlogs?
No.
Or, like, who do you
Because
follow?
when you
because
said
I have
that,
some.
I was waiting
I have
to
not.
come talk because I watched that like 2 days ago. I was like, I'm gonna wait till we do the vlog or the podcast and talk about that because I think it's a good idea. I just didn't want to, do it by myself.
Wouldn't you go insane if you became immortal?
It really depends.
Yeah.
If in my ideal immortality, it's I'm disconnected from the world. So instead of like being on Earth as an immortal being, I have the like privilege of like spreading out from that and just like chilling out and waiting until technology is available to.
Brain only stores so much information.
Well, that's the thing. You would start losing your past and only continue learning in the future.
And-
like
it's
jump
just
drives
this
of,
And that's why I would be a
insanely
robot.
interesting existence.
But that's
If
like
I was a
Dumbledore with,
robot-
like the flat, like the thing when he puts memories in.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that
I,
What a great invention.
I would
We
just
should
be a
invent that
robot.
for now.
I honestly,
if you're a robot, you
I
just
wouldn't
add more
use
hard
that.
drive.
I have a lot of trauma
You're
in my
perfectly
life,
fine.
So I mean,
I don't think I would go insane being immortal because you would always be able to enjoy the pleasures of life as they come around, and there's no reason that you would
that's
get
the
bored
thing
of that.
with immortality. I would say it's you don't have to eat, you don't have to drink, you don't
Tag
have,
title
have
bar for
to
the
have
win.
any regular like human body functions anymore. You
especially if you're a
just
robot.
exist.
My
But you can still
point-
enjoy like food and all that kind
my
of stuff.
my
And
point
sex.
to
So
insanity.
you're no longer human
Sex
type
robot,
of
sex robot.
immortality.
Yeah, in a sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would
So,
shed humanity.
I would also
I'm not going
and
to
be a
talk
robot.
about whether or not that happens, but what I will say, just for insanity, like nothing about my current life would make me go insane. I would definitely change some shit. Like, let's say me and Max are both immortal. That's not going to remain exclusive forever.
Yeah, you'd be like.
It's not,
"It's
especially
been
both in
100
young
years,
bodies.
You know what? I love you, but
like no.
You have to change
no-
your mentality about how you perceive the
Yeah.
world. But like, I think if you think you're gonna go insane, it's because you are not currently happy
in
with
a
your
place,
life.
Yeah.
I'm okay with this existence, not the way it is forever, but I'm aware I can change, take the punches. Space travel is gonna be a thing. I would be a
have
space
you
pirate.
guys
for
not
sure.
seen
Immortal
Altered
space pirate.
Carbon?
Yeah.
The way that
I
you
haven't. I
shed
was on it.
You bro, like that, cause that's the thing. Like they've been alive for so long,
They
and that like it's like they're married. Oh, you guys good? You get to go at this.
I
the
know-
way
I
that you
know the
shed
thing.
humanity,
Accomplishments.
Yeah.
the way that you shed humanity as a human is becoming a robot and then making all your
I
Then who's gonna
observations logically.
Are you at the point yourself where you could like fix yourself and all that kind of shit? Like
It depends what you even
Why
think.
not?
It,
Like you'd become like this
Here-
higher being of everyone.
Yeah,
We-
you'd be able to, you know,
Yes,
help
we
the
are
masses.
lizard
Be
people.
able to.
so
Imagine
I
being
just-
like homeless and being
Lizards, thank you.
Lizards.
immortal and just being like, fuck
So
my life.
I'm gonna just
No, I'd be like, hell yeah, I'm gonna let you guys
So,
know about my multiple years of experience.
in my opinion,
Mm.
humanity is the need to eat, sleep, have sex, and greed. Basically, the seven sins.
asexuals. What the fuck is
Well,
wrong
you
with
can
you?
have sex and stuff like that, but animals do that too.
That's we are animals, intelligent though.
Yes.
So I
We
don't.
have
When
thumbs,
people
but
say
so do
leave behind
raccoons.
humanity, I think it just means stop caring about all the crap humans say
As
we're
in turning
supposed
into
to
a
care about,
patron that
which
makes
I've
more sense
already
than being
done. I
human.
don't
I mean, if
care
I was
about
immortal,
a
yes.
lot of the things people care about. Like I've figured out for myself what I like and what I
Yes.
want from my life.
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
So I don't. I think that's the thing. If you hold yourself down to these bounds of judgment at the end of death, or at the beginning of death, whatever,
Are we all just
at
listening?
death,
At the end of life.
at the end of life, if you think, I don't know, humanity to me has always been a thing I've never related to.
I always thought it was
Yeah.
just self-consciousness.
I just thought that was the thing. It's That's great. Yeah.
Self-consciousness, I am. You're able to be aware of yourself, aware of your own ego.
Yeah.
But why does that
Yeah.
matter once you get once you accept that? You're just like, I'll just be. Once you can reach a place where you're trying to just be, I don't.
B.I.G.
Yes, guys?
There's only a limited number of
Wow,
states
way
in the
to
universe
slip that
you
in
can
there.
be.
Could I just
Shout out,
If you're
B.I.G.
sentient or non-sentient, you want to be the sentient one.
You're going
Sure.
for
Can I
some.
just give a shout out to Jasmine, who's been here for like since almost the very beginning?
Oh my God,
Hey.
Jasmine
And
Fleur,
you're-
love
and,
you.
like, we're
Yeah.
so glad that you're getting involved too. Like, this is great. This is
Hell
what-
yeah. This is what the
Choo-choo-boo.
podcast is all about. We throw down our own
And,
questions,
like,
but
B.I.G..
more than happy.
Would
Question
you marry someone
BIG.
who
Yeah.
was a 10 out of 10 but only said the word Snorlax? Have you ever
Can-
heard the term butterface?
Can they?
That's
can
not a
they
butterface,
write,
that's a
or do
buttermine.
they only write
Buttermine.
Snorlax?
Well,
You
that's
gotta
like what
play
they
the
say
flute
with
right
And
with this.
am
You
I
can't put a paper
mortal?
bag on a mind.
And is the relationship open?
You can
And are
put
they
in
able to understand
earplugs.
you?
Yeah, can they
Exactly.
understand
Is
me?
it safe
Do they
saying
laugh at my
consensual
jokes and
on
then say
both
Snorlax? Snorlax.
Snorlax.
I would definitely, if they had a good sense of humor, I would be able to do that 100%. All I've really wanted is someone to laugh at my jokes.
I was in a
Snorlax.
relationship with an ESL person, and I found it.
Snorlax.
If she could understand me, it'd be
Snorlax.
different, but it was really hard because she
We all
couldn't
sound
understand me that well.
fake now.
Snorlax.
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 Oh no, that's gonna be a thing now.
Oh.
Big.
Suck my
What have you
finger.
done?
Yeah.
Suck-
Snorlax.
Oh my God,
That's a thing from our D&D group.
Oh.
So, like,
Little-
if
little
someone
in,
just
suck
said,
my
if they were
finger.
10 out of 10 and only had said the word Snorlax, I feel like it would be one of those like AI sex,
Suck a
like,
finger.
body, like sex human things.
No, what if they just hit
How
their head and it
disrespectful is
messed
that?
with the part of the brain
yeah, where
that
she was just
processes speech?
malfunctioning.
That again, though, can they write? Because if they can write, it's totally fine.
If there's a
them a
vagina and a
chalkboard.
penis to insert into, then I think you're good to go.
Hey,
Relatable.
I
relate to that.
Artificial relationships between like man and robot will be very commonplace.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
only
have you
will
not seen that
artificial
birds
relationships be
already
a thing.
developing, though,
That's-
in
That's
Japan?
why they said in 20 years it'll be
Co-
normal-ish.
No,
The
like,
thing is, you can.
Just like
Right
how
now
like
it's
being
possible,
like
but it's not
can
normal.
can you
Yeah.
not wait for like the the
You
the
can even
sitcoms,
artificially womb.
My Robot Wife.
2.5
She
robots.
gets broken
Have
and all
you
she can say for
guys-
an episode is Snorlax.
they can write Snorlax.
Done.
Okay, guys.
Well
like
done.
new
Ah.
new thing. They can write Snorlax as well.
That's what I.
Oh,
Okay.
I get it.
I'm already married to someone I want to be with, so I'm gonna say
Yes,
no.
Snorlax,
But
Snorlax.
once again, if I can
Yeah, why
sleep with
not?
other
Fuck it.
people, probably.
I
No,
mean,
actually, 'cause
I'd be open to it.
I'm married. I'm not.
She's a 10 out of 10 though.
I'm not
10 out
married.
of 10.
10
That's
But I'm-
amazing.
That was the question.
Personality.
Hey,
Here- here's
crazy
my
to hot
prob-
scale. Does anyone else ever like? Hello, crazy to hot scale.
Yeah.
She can't be that crazy if all she says is Snorlax. There's not many
That's
problems
pretty
you can get
crazy
in
if
with
she
Would she
won't
Snorlax.
be a
word.
unicorn then? Because if she only says Snorlax, would her intelligence be lower and then her like her
No, I
hotness be
don't-
higher?
I
and then
think-
she falls in between, which makes her a unicorn.
There's a difference
Yeah.
between having a very low intelligence and then only being able to say one word.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's like a, because if it's a low intelligence and it's a 10 out of 10, no.
Yeah,
No.
when she's like,
Why
That's
not?
just a hot dog.
Snorlax.
Yeah.
Really? I'm still
okay.
down.
See, the thing is, so I get married
Always
for.
like for the long term.
I'm literally
not?
only married for like the talking. Like I
She
like
can't
all
say
the other
no.
Stuff,
Can you open
but
that window?
Yeah.
Thank you.
She, but the thing is, okay,
So you don't want a partner, you want a slave.
yeah.
Wow.
That's the
Yeah.
problem in me and Courtney's relationship, actually.
okay, no, like they have a great personality. You
Yeah,
can kind of
so
understand
it's
what they
just-
mean. They can
It's-
only say
they're
Snorlax and
literally
write
just
Snorlax.
how it,
But they
the-
got-
in
they got
the
more-
show
It's like a
Pokemon. They're
Pokemon.
portrayed.
Yeah.
What do you mean? It's like a Pokemon.
Like a Pokemon.
They're
you
It
saying-
is the
they-
Pokemon.
They
with,
are
like, Jinx.
basically a humanoid Pokemon, just saying
They're a Snorlax that got
They are
polymorphed
Snorlax
into
with
a
a 10 out of
fucking
10
baby.
body.
By the way, you know that in every single restaurant in the Pokemon universe, they like
They eat
Eat
Pokemon.
They eat
Pokemon, yeah.
stuff. It's
Slow
the only-
poke
They're
tail.
like, they're like, here,
they, like,
Chikorita,
chop them
come
up
here.
and
Here,
serve
let's
them.
eat
They're
Totodile.
only animals. They don't have cows. They don't have.
Everyone's a
they have,
vegetarian.
whatever that cow Pokemon is, they probably.
Oh,
by the
that
thousands.
milk ton. No,
Milk,
whatever.
milk tank.
Milk tank. I'm just
Yeah.
I'm just
What do you
picturing
think
coming
a butter
home,
tastes like? I
coming
think
home
it's
to your
Brussels
wife,
sprout.
and you just be like, "Babe, what do you want for dinner?" Snorlax. I love Chinese. You know.
That was fucking racist.
So Jasmine's
Wait, it's
like,
not racist. That's
That's
just
so racist.
No, what I'm saying is you would,
Delicacy.
because you know her so
Yeah.
well, you would get it. So you'd be like, "What do you want for dinner?" Chinese. You'd be like, "Italian?" Like I'm not saying specifically Chinese. Also Japanese. God fucking damn it, Martin.
God fucking
Um,
Piece of shit.
So Jasmine's like, how do you understand what they mean if they only say Snorlax? What? By the expression that they
Yeah,
put
it's
into
like
the word.
Yeah.
well, it's like talking to
Yeah.
somebody who doesn't speak the same language as
say-
you.
we
Just
s-
because you don't
If they were
necessarily
10
know
out of 10,
exactly what they're
If they
saying.
were 10
It's
out of 10, could only say Snorlax.
You just
and
build
had
a-
Asperger's as fuck. Then yeah. she would know.
Asperger's as fuck. Okay.
But you'd have to ask questions and understand the right body language. But like the thing that
You
would
just start
suck is
making
wouldn't be
stuff
able
up
to
so you
have
don't
a
get bored with all
conversation.
She would
snore
just
lax.
go like
So
Change it up.
our
You
buddy
wanna-
Jack had full conversations with
You want
his
this in your
landlord
butt?
who only spoke
Snorlax.
Chinese.
It
That
was
sounds like
super-
a
Like they
yes.
just understood each other by the way
Well, they
they
would
were
just
like
have like beers and cigarette, and they'd be like,
motioning,
oh,
presenting.
Okay.
That's how people learn
They-
other
they- they
languages.
had
That's
more-
literally
Read
the
you
body
just saying that, I'm
language.
just like Ash and Pikachu.
Literally though, but it's like that. Whenever my dad was traveling abroad with
autism a
business
flavor?
and stuff,
Yeah,
he
there's
would,
many different flavors
he
of
would go to all
autism.
these business meetings with people who
Awesome.
don't
Thank you,
generally
everyone,
speak
for watching.
English, and they have like a translator and stuff. Half the time, he wouldn't
Okay.
need a translator.
I do not
So you
believe
could just
autism
tell
is
what
a
they
flavor.
were like intending
Okay,
and
Vaughn,
what
You know
they
what?
meant.
I'm gonna say no.
So like even
Game
when
of
I've like
charades.
dealt with customers that the one guy he
No,
is
it's a flavor.
deaf. And so I'm already like a very animated person, but just by being like I'm just like this like just like under
Yeah.
and then he
Triple
was like
skewer.
Can I get
it was just,
autism
we
sprinkles,
understood each
please?
other
Thank
without him
you.
having to write everything down.
It's the
And we
understanding
Try to have a
Yeah.
conversation with
It's
saying
inclusive, we're
Snorlax and
involved.
the other
For sure.
person. try
And
to
that's what
decode.
people tend to discredit is
All right.
in order to connect with somebody, you don't
Oh,
necessarily
babe,
need
this
to
is
That's a
speak the
really
same
good
Babe,
language.
this
minigame,
is
actually,
fun. You
BGI.
and me, yeah, I wanted to try and do a game. So yeah, we're gonna
Sure.
try and communicate with
Man, now I feel
So,
like I'm
okay,
on
this
the
is what we
spot.
do.
This
Yeah.
is like
Okay,
defining
It's
what
gonna
we're
be
doing.
like
new game,
charades.
guys. new
Okay.
game.
Each person would have to write down on a piece of paper what they want the other person to say,
Okay.
and all one person can say is Snorlax.
Okay.
But you want them to say the magic word while you're saying Snorlax. So you write down the word in front of you and you try to Snorlax your way into them saying
Oh, I
that
got
word.
this.
So-
I got
Okay,
this.
okay,
I got
okay.
this. I got this immediately.
Yes.
Actually, I'm sorry. This is a little cheaty.
Can we get a
because
piece of
it's-
paper for this man?
No, I got it.
Can we get a whiteboard for this?
It's not gonna work.
All right, guys,
yet.
we're gonna play. Hey, everyone, Destroyer.
What up,
Hey,
Kegel
Kegel
Destroyer? That
Destroyer.
sounds
Sup,
absolutely
dude?
devastating
Oh,
and
don't
kind of
show me.
attractive. Thank you
Tavon,
very much.
guys, welcome. What's up?
We'll do kegels.
Feel free to ask us any questions.
Kegel Destroyer.
If you're weird, then that's
Put a
cool
lid
too.
on it.
We're able
I
to
didn't
bounce
get a
off
lid.
that.
Hey,
We're
Where's
not
the
very
lid?
weird.
Okay. So
Are you
I'm.
like flipping
Hey.
me the marker or?
yeah. Where's
Just
the lid?
leave it. We're gonna keep using
It's
it.
okay.
Right?
It's gonna dry out.
it's
dry
fine,
erase.
we'll
It's
find
gonna
it.
dry
Right.
out.
All right, I'm
We're
gonna
not gonna be
set a
able to use
timer.
it.
We'll just
Actually,
drop it now.
This is gonna be immediate. Everyone, I am gonna say this is cheating. I think almost everyone here will get this, but we're gonna do it, and I'm super excited.
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, you can't look at it. You can't look at it. Okay, you ready? You ready?
Oh, oil spill.
all right. I didn't even need a timer for that. Game over. You guys win. Fuck that.
yeah, look at that. They
Fuck
decoded it,
that.
yeah.
Nailed
No,
it.
I immediately know I was like Bob Burns.
No, yeah, yeah.
It's kind of cheating though. 'Cause
No,
then
I
it's
said
like a
it was cheating.
sing-song,
It's like yeah.
And you're like,
Great
oil
job, team.
spill.
Hey, Tavon, how's it going?
And he seems upset.
How do? How do?
Is autism a
so-
flavor? It's not.
No,
Autism is a flavor.
Guys,
Fuck off, guys.
Do
It's a
not
flavor
eat
of
autistic
the
people.
week.
That's not appropriate.
super not appropriate. So I
Technically, cannibalism is the closest to like being unified as we can get. Everybody
cannibalism
tastes
is
the
next
same.
to godliness.
Literally,
for
everybody tastes the same. As a human
Disagree.
being, no matter the color, shape, or size, generally you taste the same.
You're telling me I taste the same as
At the
Mark?
base.
Human tastes like veal.
Yeah.
I think we do
Some
have
human.
difference in flavor
You would
depending on
taste
what
like
we
veal.
eat.
Sure, we
I
have,
feel like
more,
if you have a
like,
curry heavy
vegan
diet
human or,
based
like,
on like
the-
a borscht heavy diet, you're gonna have a different base flavor.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're
I
gonna
agree.
smell different. And there was,
Borscht,
like,
if all you eat is borscht, that's gotta affect something.
I made a juice. I was
You
juicing.
made a
Oh my
what?
god.
I was
Borscht juice?
Yeah, no. I was juicing and I used a lot of like too much leek, which is like an onion.
Yeah, okay.
And I was sweating an onion smell, and I could smell myself. And I remember just laying. I wasn't even sweating. I'm just like, I fucking smell like onion right now. Like fuck my life.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
sweat
I have to
onion,
say,
yeah.
if eating too much pineapple changes the taste of your semen, then it would probably change
How
the
is
taste
there-
of your.
What do you
Your
mean
meat?
too much?
Your vagina?
pineapple?
No, just like your meat in general.
Yeah, no, that's an actually proven
That's
fact.
half of the fun.
What? That semen
When you eat
sweeter?
a pineapple,
No.
it eats
No,
you.
based on what you eat changes the way you taste.
No, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
No, yeah, for sure.
For the record, I hate fucking pineapple, so I can't associate with any of this conversation.
So
Just
I
as
did,
there is a spectrum of Starburst.
All about that bass.
to quickly get on.
Is that the girl from All About That? I've been told that I look like her. God damn it.
Megan
That's
Trainor?
kind of hot,
Yeah,
actually.
I was like one time this one was like, you look like Megan Trainor. I was just like, bitch, what?
Take it as a compliment.
I don't think so.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, quit
I'm
fucking
running out of
yelling, Blondie.
minutes here.
Control yourself, drunk.
You already have all the eyes. Do you need all the ears
It's
too?
also
Jesus.
not all about that bass.
So quickly, just I think this is a good time because we
Me
got
and
a
you,
good chunk
Tavon.
of viewers and everything. I checked the question macro, which is good. What was your kind of motivation? We've kind of tipped on it to start DAGG vlogs in this, and what is your current motivation?
I'm too nice to say no.
So
So
that was
that's
the
the
previous
start point.
motivation.
It was like, okay, so
Jesus.
my
Glad to know you wanted to be
mentality- Yeah. I was like, well, I'm too nice, guys. Okay, so I feel like the timing was right, where I was in a place in my life where, you know, as much as I love my job, I wanted to explore more, like, and I feel like I had gotten Dwell more into like the YouTube and streaming side of it, and then that's where he had gotten this inspiration. Then he had the tools and resources to go off, make a shit ton of money, and then be able to come back and dedicate full time into this endeavor.
Yeah.
And so my thing was like, obviously I couldn't just quit.
Where's
so
the fucking cat?
Oh no!
yeah. So my thing was that when he had come to me about this vlog, I was like willing to put myself out there at this time because like, yeah, I already put myself out there with like streaming, and I just needed that extra little bit. I'm like, you know what? Like, as much as like, yeah, again, I'm too nice to say no. The thing is, why say no?
Yeah.
When I can just say yes, see how it goes. If it doesn't work out, then like whatever. But like what like if it works out in the long run, then
Thank
you
God,
know. And I
yeah.
remember my first thing was like, I don't have time. And the first few like the first week or so, I literally had to create time for this vlog because I knew that he would hold me accountable and because I had you guys holding me accountable. So yay!
Sick.
But
Was
yeah,
that our
so
2 hour mark? Thank
the
you.
the excuse of not having time became so voided where I was like, yeah, you know what? Anyone who says that they don't have enough time, they're not making time for
For
it.
5 minutes,
true.
Yeah, for 5
literally at
minutes,
the end of my
5
night,
minutes,
no
that's
matter
You have
how
time. You just
tired I
ain't
am,
making time.
Yeah.
I can walk outside for 5 minutes.
And
Can
it doesn't
we
have to be about
Stop.
anything.
Put
in
that on a
particular.
T-shirt. Courtney's fate. You don't. It's not. You don't. You have time. You just ain't making time.
Yeah, that's no, but that's what I said as a personal trainer too. Like people are like, I don't have time
sex.
to work out. I'm like, no, you're
That's
not
all I have to
making
say.
time to work out.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. It's like if you're like, oh, I don't have time for this. Well, you're not making the effort to have time. On sale now. But yeah, and that's like my biggest thing is that like with people that have the excuse I don't have time, well, they're just not making time for those things.
Yeah.
And but the thing is they lack the accountability.
Wait, what was the second part of the question?
So the first part is why did you start, and what is your current motivation for doing DAGG?
Well, now my current motivation is just to like now we've reached a momentum of getting out there and like, and I feel like Dwell's
Time's up.
Oh my
Did you get the
God.
word?
Wow.
But yeah, I feel like his mentality
Snorlax.
was to like for us to all start off where we're in a comfortable basis where it's just about us, but now I think we're all on that platform where we're like, come see our YouTube, come visit our vlogs.
I
and
still don't want anyone to watch
and
our
then,
vlogs.
and now we're
Don't watch my shit, man. It's not. Sorry.
I like
Go
how
ahead.
I'm like, how many vlogs have you watched on our channel?
But not.
Enough.
not
Enough.
exactly.
Enough.
If
Enough.
you check the counting on the numbers of vlogs from him, it's all off. Don't worry
It's
about it.
super
They're
fucking
all
off.
there.
It's because he asked me what number one. I'm
But
like,
it's
I don't
off.
fucking know. 67. He's like,
No,
what?
my numbers are terrible. My consistency is terrible, but I do my very best to make
I
sure
mean,
that I make up for
you
what
can
I
only
do.
do so much about your flesh suit.
That's good.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
just going down the line, I'll go next. My motivation was purely dull. I was super excited because I wanted to start streaming and everything more, and this was a way to hold myself accountable for all of that. Just throw yourself in it. It's like, now I'm part of a group where I have to do this shit.
Yeah, you
I know.
fucking do.
Yeah, I do. Bob Dole.
Bob Dole.
And now my
Dole
current
remembers.
motivation in this is actually, this is
Partridge
just extremely
Farms.
fun. And this is actually carried over into my creative faculty of what I'm actually doing now.
So you would put this on a resume?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh,
Fuck yeah.
I would.
Why not?
I wouldn't.
That'd be
Well,
sick.
like
You get
I
a
wouldn't
resume,
apply
like
with
I'm
this
doing
right now,
vlogs.
but
I'm like,
this is an actual This is an actual priority and plan for me right now to like motivate this group and the people that we've connected to us to go farther.
Mhm.
How it changes and what it does, I don't really care too much, and I appreciate that right now we're kind of on autopilot. I do think Doel will be a pusher, which I really think is great because I've been trying to start something like this for a long time. You need a pusher. Because when you have a group of people who are all excited to do it, but no one's there like fucking do it.
Yeah, you can't take a shit unless you're pushing.
Awesome. This awesome skill
Yeah.
on my resume.
The skill that
As
I think this
services
is
like community service type volunteer work, like extracurricular activities.
I think no. I would put this within entertainment and then within a community collective.
Yeah.
I
so
feel like
creating a group. You would swing this anyway if you wanted to
Yeah.
be
I would-
zhuzhy with
You
high
could
I
school.
call
would
it a business if you
subclass
wanted
this.
to.
You could call this a business, but I would subclass it as almost a therapy for the people.
Yeah.
To be able to show them that it's okay to have emotions and thoughts, and everybody does, because we get a lot of raw emotion on our vlogs, and I feel like that is exhilarating for some people who have a hard time reaching deep inside and being able to tell people how
Yeah.
they really feel.
It's an online
Woke as
pub-
We are woke.
It's
Welcome
an
to
online
the-
public. It's an online support group.
Social
publicly
between
aimed
tie-dye
at
and
people
Blondie
of
is
similar
distracting.
things.
Aww.
I know. I should. say
Guys,
that
stop
for-
sexually.
It's amazing.
Tension it.
Everyone knows the energy that's going on.
Oh, well,
You're
fine.
gonna get it later.
Wow, that's
Oh,
Ah.
don't pull me into this.
Ah.
It just feels like a
Ah.
weird.
Not. There's some compensating
Are we
going on
swinging?
here. We do it with
Is
our
that what this
eyes.
is?
I don't. You guys need to stop.
5 minutes until what?
until 2 hours.
yeah.
Okay, fine.
And then
Max's
take
turn.
Is that our fucking?
We're saying that we're gonna
cutoff?
end it
No,
because
they're
we really
just-
need to
that's
watch Star Trek Discovery.
So it
So.
doesn't matter if I write it down on a piece of paper or a thing. You're gonna read it no matter what.
Yeah.
It's a teleprompter.
Suck my dick, you fucking plebs, and we're like, suck my dick, you fucking plebs.
Wow.
You missed your shot.
Could have totally done
Thanks,
that too.
Tavon.
Turned
Way
it.
to
Like,
point
and
that
you
out.
like
Now you probably blew my
Onions and
chances.
tomatoes up my butthole, guys.
TV
I'm
for
holding
my
you to that.
butthole.
We have it on video.
No, I'm mean. I would just come up with really nonsensical words like Wilbur Jägerman Jensen.
That was a good shrug
Listen.
off. I'm proud.
Listen,
Can-
Mark, this is what I
Can-
want you to do. I want you to write down an angry video game nerd spiel on when he gets pissed, and we'll see if one of us can hit it.
Can someone
100%.
please clip
Max,
Courtney
go
saying
next.
something about potatoes up her butt,
Sweet.
please? I would.
Onions and
Um,
potatoes. I'll
onions
clip
and
So
it
potatoes.
later.
there's like a few.
Oh no, you'll have to
reasons-
clip it because you'll have to go back.
It's true. A few reasons that I'm doing this. First of all, when we first started, I just started school, so I felt like that just really worked out with the timing of everything. I was like, it's a whole new beginning of a whole new chapter. It's starting like fresh on both ends, where like now I'm no longer free and like working or whatever. It's like I now have like a set schedule in my life
P.S.
again.
Where's your resume, bro?
I left it at home.
You're
I-
fired.
I felt really bad. I was like thinking about it. I was like, why do I feel
We're
like
not
I'm
hiring
missing
people
something?
right now anyway. We're at max hour, so I'm like, we're just gonna.
Oh, I'm max hours.
I know.
Gross.
I realized as I
Can't
said,
believe I
like, I
just
wonder if she'll
heard
catch
that
that.
Dude, I take advantage of it. My
Yeah.
entire life was spent not getting a nickname because my name is too hard to give a nickname. So it's like
Yeah, try to
it's
give a
awesome
nick-
Awesome to the max.
Yeah, exactly. It's always like blank to the max,
Yeah.
so it's like not really creative.
Yeah.
So when I can slip in my own name jokes, it's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't
And I'm
worry.
like, ah,
I
we're back to
also-
my
Max
maximum
hours.
ability.
I also don't have a
Shit.
nickname.
Anyways, go on.
Your nickname is tie dye. Done. Tavon named you. So
All right, I'm
fuck
done.
that. But yeah, and now it really is like with the way that school is going, it's so much more busy. It kind of feels cumbersome, but at the same time, I know that in the long run, it's really, really good, and I'm really, really enjoying being part of this process.
This game is a toxic, regurgitating, putrid, anal, fecal matter.
That's something he said.
Wow, yeah, quote unquote, good job.
Keep
But
working.
yeah, and
Get the
now
whole
since
board.
I am in school,
Get the whole board.
getting shit done every day. it
Make
feels
one
like-
up.
Shit. Anyways.
feels like I'm accomplishing more in my day to day than
Yeah.
because like when I first started doing the
DDD.
vlogs, I was like, yeah, I got the vlog done, like hell yeah. But now like all day, I'm like, I'm doing this, I'm getting this done, and then when it comes down to the vlog, I'm like,
Bring
now
out a
I'm
t-shirt,
fucking
tie-dye,
exhausted
next
from
vlog
all
day.
the stuff that I've been doing, and then it makes me feel like I have like the right to kind of slack off on it. So I
Yeah.
think for me personally, I need to get back on that hype train. And,
my,
like,
my
get
biggest
back
like
into
like the worst part about these vlogs for me is because I am a manager and I'm not allowed to talk about work.
Yeah, that was so
That's
hard for
hard.
me when I was doing
Yeah,
manager stuff. I
right?
was like, I hate everything about work today, but I can't tell you.
Yeah,
guys.
and that's the thing. Like I like, and I remember my cousin had to point it out because she's very much about like contracts and like the legal form of being a manager. And she's like, you can't be saying that online. And I was like, and I had to delete that one YouTube vlog because
You
it
were all
was
drunk.
what?
You were all drunk. What? Which one? I thought we were talking about
Ooh,
drunk
there's
vlog stuff.
multiple
that
offenses.
one,
Yeah.
yeah. And so I had to like get rid of that one just because I was making it very obvious about my rant and shit. And as much as I want, and I don't know if you guys notice in my vlogs now where I'm just like, in work was just gonna be fantastic and we'll see how it turns out. Like,
Yeah.
like so. Like, yeah. Anyways,
We'll get an
Martin.
untucked season of
Merton.
DAGG.
Why did
Yeah.
I start this? That's a good question. I still don't know.
I was here when it happened too.
I'm the most proud
came
of
by.
you, though.
It was peer pressure. 100%
yeah, I
peer
just
pressure.
staring at Martin, never like seen him like twice. Just like, you gonna join our thing?
Yeah, you both came over. You're
dear.
like, so this is gonna be a thing, and I'm like, how am I supposed to say no to 2 people? I can't let 2 people down. Oh
I-
shit.
This is assuming you had a 2 o'clock or a 2 hour time.
We don't have a time limit
yeah,
on
not
this, actually.
really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of just
We got
So, Mark,
peeps
you're here for the rest
We
of the
got-
fucking night.
we're
I hope you
enjoying
know
it.
you're chained.
we gotta go watch Star Trek Discovery. Yeah.
Oh dear, LOL. I don't think the Tie guy knows what's going on.
Tia Dye
Maybe
guy.
Spitball.
Tie-dye's not living in the moment.
Listen, man, I'm just having a good time.
I
Have a
feel-
nice
like,
trip, dude.
burn.
Ah.
I just want to say, like, I am the most proud of Martin because he is very inconsistent with his goals.
Oh, that's fine.
And this is one of the only things that he's been consistent with where I've been able to be like, hey, did you do like, no. Oh, and he's like, but he goes and he does it. And I'm like, I'm so proud.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Jesus. Yeah, it was peer pressure why I started. Also, having something consistent in my life I knew would be very beneficial. So, you know, I really appreciate you guys reaching out to me, specifically Doel. Alan,
Yeah,
you're just a
Who's
follower
not
like me.
here and we haven't heard
Dead.
from he's
No,
dead.
you were.
I
It
was
was.
getting dragged around. I had
It
gone.
was nice.
You were with him and he was like pulling you everywhere. Like,
Yeah,
hey,
he
that's
went-
when,
You're
when he
great.
came to me, he's like,
He
want
took-
to do this? And you're just sitting there like,
He took me to Courtney's
Thanks,
store and was like,
K-Bone.
get these vitamins. I was like, okay.
we're like, you're to join, and you're like,
We're doing DAGG. This is Alan. He's a DAGG.
By the way, if you guys are
doing
ever
it.
wondering, that's the
Okay.
magic dance to pull attention.
Yeah.
Neck wiggle and a little flick of the wrists. Rook of the frick of the wrists.
I don't like.
Anyways,
Is that
moving
cultural
on.
I'm
appropriation?
just
Uh,
checking out like Martin's penis dance right now. He's just.
oh,
Uh,
sorry.
Tavon, I really appreciate you, buddy. You are my favorite viewer. Tavon is #1 MVP.
Oh my
for me.
God,
I just
ridiculous.
want to shout that out. But everybody should follow this channel, and we'll do
Oh.
a shout out of all channels at the end of the night. So if you want to see more of me, her, him, or her,
We need the.
you will know.
Well, this
at the end
channel's
of the
for
night.
both of us.
Yeah.
We had two
Okay,
in
so this
one.
is 2 of
Yeah.
you.
It's like a cream filled
Yeah, this
donut.
is theirs.
Alright.
Incorporated, like INK.
Mine.
Hashtag Team Titan.
If we ever make a secondary channel, I think we should call
What,
it
I
Small
got
Weight
hashtag
Inked,
team.
and you're Small Weight Inked because you got the.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Oh!
she actually has
tattoos.
2
Oh,
tattoos.
you can't even see.
Uh,
it. Oh, there you go. I have 3 tattoos.
Shit.
Yeah.
I was supposed to get a tattoo, and then I forgot about the appointment. And then I
Let's
never
get
got
DAGG
one.
Oh,
tattoos
wow.
and vomit on each other.
Way to
Oh my
go.
god.
We should get
So I'm
Avenger style
gonna-
DAGG tattoos.
So-
Let's all get a picture of Doel's face on her ass.
No.
Could you imagine he comes back and we all have his face tattooed on our ass?
Okay, I
Oh
will
my-
only
what a
do that
mind fuck.
if I can make his
So
mouth
weird.
my
Yeah.
anus.
Huh?
I will only do it if I can make his mouth my
Yeah,
anus.
for sure,
Just write
100%.
Doel, and the O will be
D-
your
yeah,
anus.
yeah. So D
Doel.
D-E-L. And
For
you s-
delete.
then you gotta spread
Delete
it.
this fucking
Yeah.
shitty tattoo. And then you gotta open the cheeks so it says Doel.
You gotta do it for him. That's
Hey, Gooby.
Spread the cheeks, there's a surprise. See, it's your name.
all. Shit. Oh, cute.
So I just posted like the links to each of our Twitch channels, and then the link to our YouTube channel for DAGG for our vlog. So if you guys want to check it out,
If you want to know what we do on a day-to-day basis,
Also, Small Way
Daddy
Inc.
is
for
here,
us is both
Gooby.
on Twitch And on YouTube.
Twitter, YouTube, anything is Small Way Inc. related.
Truth.
Hello, Daddy.
Hello,
Looby
Looby
Gooby.
Gooby.
Me and Martin
The
were originally
reason-
supposed to have
Dude.
like a combined channel, but
No, we
then
weren't.
I just kind of did my own thing and wanted my own name on it.
What's fucking new?
Well, it's not like it's my name on it. It's Small Way Inc.'s our company. I'm Scarfonymous as my gamer tag, and she's Nameless Creative.
Hey, Daddy.
And we switch back and forth.
The reason I'm still doing this is because I'm not a fucking quitter. And I really appreciate the therapeutic value.
I'm just picturing Martin 20 years down the road. We're like successful, but he never really wanted to do it. He just doesn't quit shit.
You just
He's like, I ain't a fucking quitter.
you guys are totally done. I'm like, vlog number 6,247. I'm still alive.
Is it
And
not?
we're all on the side. Good job.
Is it not
man,
Looby
he's
Gooby?
good.
I hope it's.
Lube, Gooby.
Oh yeah.
That's what it is.
Also,
It's
check
Looby
out
Oh,
Quincy
Gooby.
get
for
up
real
that
on
Quincy
stuff.
for real love, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
Hilarious
Quincy for real's the only
Sam.
reason we're here today.
Yeah.
Could you hand me the garbage?
Sound man.
Dude.
Garbage.
Yeah, okay.
Cameraman.
He can't get up right now.
Okay, so the sound man
makes
is Quincy
tablets.
Friel. He's the one who's helping us out with like the sound equipment. He's like one of our sponsors.
Truth.
Thanks for all the bit spitball.
Shout out.
No, it is, but it's funny. Sorry, guys. But yeah, if you guys want to check out our other channels, Quincy and Frozen Rainmaker do their own streaming as well. He's the one who's like basically our sponsor. He's helped us with like the equipment.
He's
all
basically
that
our
jazz.
pimp in a sense.
Yeah, he's our pimp.
Nope. That's wrong.
And quick question to you guys, because I want to try and get DAGG streams going too or something. I think Jackbox games are a great way.
Production quality is apparently going to be up 300% next week. Please look for it in the future. It is going to be
Hey.
immense and
Toot, toot.
amazing.
Yeah, be a part of this
Immense,
big movement in our lives. You're
Uh,
welcome.
But
We will
please comment
consider
games.
questions.
Yeah, questions, and
Yeah.
please
Questions
comment
you guys
games you
have.
might want us to play in the future, because we have the technology.
I
What-
was thinking it'd be
what ki-
interesting that at the butt end of our podcast,
Uh-huh.
if we wanted to, we could play a quick round of like Jackbox or something where the audience can hop in and like.
That's
be
actually a
our
pretty good idea.
crew and,
Yeah.
you know, just like dick around for
So
the
if you
last
stick
little
around
while.
to the
Next
end, you
week,
get
Jackbox.
it.
You heard it here
Oh, yeah,
today.
maybe next week then.
Oh yeah, next week, not
next
today,
week,
guys.
Jackbox.
Or not
That's-
next,
that's
then
what you
next
gotta-
podcast.
next podcast.
Well, next
Yeah,
podcast. We don't know.
2
the-
weeks from now.
We are only.
So just so we're clear,
We,
for sure, yeah.
We're only
We'll-
going to
we'll
do a
give you
weekly
time.
basis if we're going to get 10 plus viewers
We gotta,
following.
yeah, we gotta
because
know
we need
that
to
you
make
guys
sure we're
really
putting-
want
Yeah.
us
Yeah.
to be doing
So we're going to
this.
need something.
should we make a Discord? Like just
That would be a
for
good
our,
idea.
Like,
DAGG
like
Discord
DAGG-
for-
like
for
a DAGG
people who are-
VIP,
Oh, for the
technically,
podcast.
yeah.
Oh,
For the
yeah.
podcast viewers.
That's a pretty good idea.
That's a
Yeah,
good
and then,
idea.
like, everything,
Yeah,
like,
you
all
guys
of our
can
videos
live
we
shoot us.
posted where like even though we'll share them on our own private
We
Discord,
didn't get
but we'll
11
also-
fucking new followers today. Don't fuck on me.
We don't have
People.
11, but we
He's
have
just
11
spitballing ideas.
viewers.
Dude,
But
seriously,
yeah.
if we turned off our phones, we'd be at 2 viewers. Fucking what?
Where do you think those 4 are
We're all
coming
just
from?
really, you know.
Thank you, Marty Spitball.
Thanks, Spitball. I
That's,
appreciate it.
that's me running away because it's a follow. Get
And
it?
that's makeup that's drag makeup that I did on him,
Yeah.
and he
Sorry,
looks beautiful.
Spitball.
But yeah,
And
maybe
li-
we should think about doing that, like making our own like Discord and being
A
able, like, so
DAGG?
that, yeah,
Other
and
people
then
can post their problems and we can post comments on their
Yeah.
fucking
We can
we can do
problems.
shout outs and like if they have like a topic of discussion that they want us to talk about, and then we can do it that way.
Do we
Oh,
have
I
to
would
do-
totally do this.
Yeah,
Alright,
that's
you
That's
do that.
sweet. We
Yeah.
can help
you're,
some people.
You're second in command, so I'm cool with this. But no,
Why is
that's
she second in command?
Because let's be honest, Courtney's second in command.
That's true.
Fucking what?
I'm Doel's first mate, but she's second in command. So I'm the guy who tells Doel stuff and go like, yeah, and then Courtney, when Doel's gone, is in charge.
Jesus.
And then you guys are, let's be honest, a little bit of a mess.
Jesus fucking Christ.
It's so funny.
Oh yeah, and then Quincy for Real's chief technical officer.
Yeah.
He gets 2
What?
stripes.
I disagree.
Daddy Sound Man, yeah.
Jesus.
This isn't a democracy, Martin. We have no choice.
This is a mutiny.
Damn it!
Can't-
I'm
Guys,
taking.
this is
I'm taking
treason
over.
or
Can't do
That's
it.
it.
You can't do
Max, can we get the next question, please? I'm tired of these plebs talking.
I don't have anymore.
that,
you do.
that was the end of our question.
But yeah,
Shit.
so maybe
Yelled
for next
past everything.
podcast we'll be up 300%. We'll have a Discord.
3 levels of calm lower.
So that means that okay. So you guys
Tits
like.
are uncalm.
Like I know with Discord, I'm the same way when I'm a part of different communities and stuff like that. I tend to mute a lot of them, but we would have to be just as much involved and to get more people to come out. And because these are only bi-weekly, that would mean that it would solely rely on our YouTube. So we would have to be really going out there and being a part of other YouTube communities and other streaming communities and commenting and just like go onto your favorite game, go to the person with the lowest amount of views or second lowest and just start talking with them. And then just see where it kind of goes. And then that way you can kind of be like, yeah, we have a Discord. You can, we're going to be doing a podcast. You can ask us questions. We're very like, about like the community and stuff like that. And then that way we form this network of people.
Yeah, for sure. I do like the sound of it. Right in there. I like the sound of a DAGG VIP group, which is like for subscribers or people who come and watch our podcast when we
All of
do
you
them.
would be invited currently.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys stuck
Looby
it through.
Gooby, don't fucking test me.
Followers,
I'll
just like-
follow you right now, you fuck.
My favorite daddies.
But
It's getting salty.
yeah. But yeah, for sure, just to keep the thing good with everybody and going and loving and all that
Cool,
stuff.
keep it Gucci, keep it going.
One question Max did have was
So many.
Summer
not?
goals.
Just
If there is a
fuck that.
particular summer goal for
Can
anybody.
I just follow?
Yeah.
I want to create more vlogs, like that one weekend that I had
Yeah.
in Whistler
Okay.
about, like, obviously I was drinking and stuff like that, and it was totally awesome.
It's
And maybe I'll
super
show you guys the
awesome.
video afterwards of like.
Eventually, I
like,
saw
yeah,
a video of you
nitty
falling
gritty.
down in a hotel
That
lobby.
is the yeah, no, it's great.
Yeah.
but that's like that was the beginning of the night.
Oh damn.
So like
Wow.
I'll have to show you guys the video later, but you guys will only get
Thank
that if
you,
you subscribe. Yeah.
Tavon.
Hey Tavon, thanks for following.
Much appreciated, Tavon.
But yeah, I want to
Rocking
do
it out.
more
Hashtag team tie-dye.
videos of me being out there and like getting more people involved and just
Remain genuine.
creating more of those videos because
Yeah.
I actually was very proud of them where I was like trying to tell more like I was like going to my vlog and be like, hey guys, or like not my vlog but like my Discord and my community on stream, and I was like, hey guys, I'm not gonna be around for like 3 days, but I'm gonna share you guys the vlogs so you know what I'm up to, and then I'm thinking
Alright.
about you guys, and then I got like more views.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
like just so that they also know and it's archived. So
Yeah.
Thanks.
Dude, man, you're rocking it
Mad
today.
respect.
Thanks,
I,
Tavon.
only for the tie dye. Follow him on twitch.tv/Zarango.
I mean, Sarang, do or don't. It's really.
Zarang.
Dude, we're gonna be a big
Yeah.
deal one day, and
Zarang,
we're gonna
do or
have
don't.
our own fan bases, and that's where the animosity is gonna sit in. People are gonna come in, they're gonna want
like-
like greasy. What was that? Greasy crack guy or something?
I didn't really enjoy his nickname.
I wasn't 100% on
I
it,
was
but
I was Ryu wannabe faggot.
It was okay. It was a very
And I disagreed with
colorful
it.
way
Yeah.
of describing us in a different type of way that we weren't expecting.
It's true.
Sure, that's a great way to
What
say
to
it.
expect when you're expecting, but not
Yeah.
expecting it.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, who is the
exactly.
high five chick? I'm confused.
It's me.
Tie-dye guy and the high five chick.
Who are you high
I'm-
fiving?
You should
Me.
high five yourself
I high
because
fived
Martin
me.
didn't high five
Oh.
her.
Because
Aw.
Martin
Dude.
rejected my high five.
I didn't reject it. I did not notice it.
It's pretty sad.
I'm gonna go
actually.
back and I'm gonna
I was
fucking
like,
clip this shit.
You're gonna. We need
But
many
should we
clips.
end
I
it
don't
now
wanna
so
be
I can go
coupled
back
with
and
you.
clip it, and then that way we can kind of post it.
I was
on our
just-
vlog
I was
that's
just-
not
On the back of the boat
us.
together. Get to the front
I'm
of the
cool with
Yeah.
whatever.
She's like, no, I'm not in the
Uh,
back
Because
seat of the
we-
boat. You sit in the back seat. No, I'm not sitting in the back seat.
Two
Oh,
back
sorry.
seats. Get the fuck out of here.
I-
So
You don't get
that's where
get
we're
on the
gonna
roof.
end
Get
it
together, fuck off.
today.
Do you want to?
Jump
Yeah.
off the boat,
Yeah,
bitch.
just because we have things to do, and we'll
Stress me
also
out so
clip
hard I
those
want you to
things and
fucking
kinda
walk
get-
the plank.
For sure.
So-
So,
Yeah.
everyone
wanna
quickly.
thank, yeah.
Tension comes from Plaid over there. Shut up!
Oh, her.
Don't you?
Uh-huh.
Sorry, sound guy. Our sound guy's out of here.
Death by sound.
He's
I
quitting.
greatly would like to rest in peace our sound guy, Quincy Friel. He's had to
So
deal with
sad.
my
Yeah.
fucking shenanigans all night. And my tie-dye badassiness has just
That the
absolutely
one he has
decimated his
tension with,
ears, and
or
I
the
apologize.
shirt
Most
with the
certainly
green-
the
with
most
the dark
badass
ink,
person
that's
I
me.
know, Martin.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
The
Yeah.
Did I
edgiest
tell you
person
guys that I
know.
emC'd over on Saturday?
Seed?
MC.
Oh,
I
yeah.
did- I
you
stage
didn't know. Yeah,
hosted.
let's hear about the MC thing.
Holy shit. Me stage hosting is the worst
Love you,
idea
sound
ever.
guy.
No,
Excellent.
the first
do
time
that
I
in
went
front-
up
yeah.
there, I had 3 pages of sponsors to read up, and I get in front of everyone, I grab my microphone, I'm like, hey guys, we got
Did
a
you-
lot of people to make this happen.
You didn't hold it down here, did
I
you?
fucking held it down here.
No, you never
oh my
hold
God,
it down
no
there.
one
Forever
could
be the
hear
tie
me.
guy
You need to
guy.
hold it right up to your chin
It was the
ball.
worst, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna read these sponsors, and I'm like, I'd like to thank Q1 Billards. I actually said the word fucking
Oh,
on the
Jesus.
mic in front of
Awesome.
everyone.
That's good.
Holy majamas.
I mean,
It was
Well,
bananas.
better than yelling at your
Majamas,
Remembrance Day Assembly while
pajamas
everybody's
of
trying to
bananas.
mourn, where there's like 4 ancient dudes because they're the only ones left from the war, and they're
Yeah.
all standing together with their buddies, remembering
Yours is way worse.
their
yours is
companions, while this
way
fucking
worse.
4th grader just screams.
Just like.
So
Not exactly the most
Uh,
appreciated thing.
But then
I've
after
done.
that, I got comfortable. I got to hand some stuff out with raffles.
Hey,
I had like the
nice.
main
Did
guy
you have,
come
like,
up.
the little thingy, or just digging through.
He dug through and handed me a ticket, and I got to say the number, so I got to be the best part of it, because I'd be
Oh,
like, "Are you guys
shit.
ready to win a
6.
brand new pool cue and a $50 gift card? Let me hear ya!" And they'd be like, "Woo! I love it." One person in the back, right? Always,
Hey,
there's
Jasmine,
there's
I don't
one
think you
person who helps you
followed
out.
yet.
I'm helping.
You're lucky my dad wasn't at that shit, because anytime like numbers are called out, he's like, "Oh, it's me," and everybody's like, "Really?" He's like, "No, I just wanted to say I won."
I
Every
started calling
time.
people out, because like sometimes people would do it. I'm like, is that true? And they'd be like, "No." I'm like, "You keep your fucking hand down." Well, I'd be like, "You keep your hand down then."
fucking-
Don't
yeah.
make me come back there, because I'll come back there. And
There's
everyone's
no
like,
nonsense. There's no nonsense in my MC room.
Yeah, I was
Stop
like,
it right now.
it was like, this is the first time I'm doing
is
this. I'm allowed
far
to make
too
some
silly.
mistakes. You want me to make a mistake on your face, boy?
No, stop
I
the
will.
minute. This is far too silly. This is all far too silly.
Mute.
Make
What
some
happens when people get
mistakes.
excited?
Yeah, so
On your
emceeing
face.
was absolutely fantastic. By the end of the night, I had like the crowd working with me and whatnot. I was like, "Put up your tickets if you're ready to win a fucking gaming chair," and they're like, "Yeah!" And everyone wanted
Bring
it.
it.
And then it was so
told his
funny.
own
The guy
numbers.
like wins and he comes up to the front and like he can't even pick it up. I'm like, "Okay, now you have to pick it up and put it over your head for the picture." And everyone fucking laughed and he's like, "No, that's not what it is."
It's not very
Word.
nice.
It was nice. I wanted to though. I wanted
Yeah.
to like make a
You
picture,
would-
like
you
hold
would've
it
been
with
able
one
to.
hand,
Yeah.
and then be like, "Yeah, this is your gaming chair." Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have
Well,
been nice.
there's a reason he has the gaming chair.
Oh,
All right,
gaming chair.
So that went absolutely fantastic. I
So-
really liked
Excellent.
emceeing, and
Wunderbar.
I'm actually booked for my next gig already
Ooh.
in July.
Well
So
done.
Christmas in July.
Well
I'm
done.
super excited.
Birthday.
Thank you.
Fun.
And
Yes,
I'm
my
probably gonna
podcast
be
got pushed back.
I'm probably gonna be recruited
Yes,
for the
I
next
did stuff
event.
too.
Fucking
as well.
Courtney over
goodness.
here.
So like
Wear
emceeing
tie-dye
is
next time.
it's one of those paths that I was like, I'm just gonna try it and do it, and now it's working out, and I'm so excited. I don't know what the fuck happened, but I'm kind of sad.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
People are fucking
Wait
talking.
for it.
What? She farted, didn't she?
Don't worry, they don't smell.
That
It's
lean,
good.
that lean. You can tell from the lean.
I was just so scared.
These
Oh my
boys,
God.
let if
Shit in
anyone
her
wants
pants.
them.
Oh my god.
If I could sub. Yo,
That
Mighty
was-
Spitball,
Man.
I will be the
That's
tie-dye guy
ridiculous.
forever. If you send me tie-dye shorts, I will wear it. Tie-dye
Shorts?
bandanas, I will wear it.
I
Tie-
will wear that too. I just like free
Same.
stuff though. That's
Yeah, fair enough.
Cotton jumper.
I'm
True.
a
Any size
large,
that is
medium,
appropriate for a
small,
very small
whatever.
person.
large.
if you guys give me like 4 more follows, then I can have a personal emoji.
Yeah, he'll be a affiliate.
Come on, give
true.
this guy some flipping
Yeah.
follows.
Yeah,
Log
man.
onto your alt accounts that I know you have. That's
I'm pretty
totally
sure you
illegal.
probably already accomplished that. Good friends, let it rip around each
That's
other.
true.
I do feel
Yeah.
closer to you. I was just so surprised. I was like,
That like came out of nowhere.
We're friends now.
no, good.
Yep.
Official.
We've
Okay.
achieved.
Yeah.
MCing went great. Thank you guys for asking.
You're
Yeah.
That's a
welcome.
route that I can travel now down, and I have
What,
Travel
fucking-
it
like
down.
Ripping
Nice
one?
Emporion.
No,
fucking
like being an
stall.
MC.
What the hell?
I can travel down that route now. Like it's something I've
Awesome.
now I have vlogging, I have MCing, I have streaming, I have my regular career. I want to go
Man.
back to school, so I have a bunch of things that are.
I got you on the
Whoa,
follows.
not with the knocking of the table. for
Yeah,
Sorry, I heard that
sake.
knocking on the table is what you do.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
So
my
did it.
spitball, you're the fucking VIP, bro.
That-
Our sound guy
Um,
fucking hates me, by the way.
So
Just daggers, staring daggers.
we're gonna
Well, we are daggers.
now.
We're gonna call it. Max brought us in, so Max has to take us
Daggers.
out
Yeah.
if you please.
Yeah,
Max
sick.
gets to call us
So,
out now.
thank
Daggers,
you,
that was a good
everybody.
joke.
Yeah.
That was a good one. I like that one. Daggers, because we're all actually daggers and he's staring
And we're
daggers.
spearing in,
Jesus.
you know.
10 out of 10, Max. 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Well,
So since
fucking
I
done.
brought
I need
you all
more- I need
here,
another drink.
and
Yeah.
apparently I'm the biggest comedian and most
You gotta
fun
speak
here.
louder, babe.
Yeah, Max
I'm
is the
speaking
comedian.
directly into
Alan's
the
an amateur.
microphone.
Down, over, under.
Oh, well,
I doubt it.
Go ahead.
What are
babe.
you looking for?
Go ahead.
Anyway,
Max,
yeah,
do it.
Thank you, everybody,
Outro.
so much for tuning in today.
That's for my
It's
wife.
been a great podcast. It's been lovely having all of you tune in.
We love you.
Thanks for the
Remember
follows.
to check out. Yeah, thanks for the follows, everybody. But remember to check out our good friend Quincy for real. Our fuck this guy.
Our local
Zarango,
MC tie-dye master Zarango.
Any
With
advice
Small
for an
Way
up-and-coming
Inc.
magical wizard?
and
Sorry.
that's
I'll get to that
Corvette.
after.
Thank you,
Hey,
Spitopia.
Spitopia. What's with these guys in spitballing and like the wetness
They're part of a
and the
crew, I'm
movies
sure.
and
I'm sure there's a
the-
lot of.
Okay,
It's
so
intense.
They just they.
let
make
me know
it
when that
going.
intro's done. Let me know. Let me know when that intro's done.
Anyway,
Outro. Outro?
yeah, it was an
Sure,
outro.
hold on.
Okay,
I'm
I just wanted
posting- I'm
to.
just- Hey, thanks for the follow.
Yo, thanks,
Yeah.
Spitopia. Yo, Fearsome Rabbits. I just wanted to touch any advice for an up-and-coming magical
Jasmine,
wizard.
I'm still waiting.
Just so you know, I am the Grandmaster Leader Wizard of the Rexiles. They call me Dooster Schmidt the Great. And I have been a wizard for about 7 levels now. I have been in there for a very long time. If you want to be a great wizard, you have to shoot fireballs at everything, and prestidigitation
That
is
is
your
actually
very
very true. I am a
Is he
sorcerer
talking
myself,
about
so
a real
I am.
thing?
Yeah,
I am
he
part of the
is.
I
red
thought this was gonna go to a
dragon
weird racist turn with
tribe.
They're having, like,
I
an
just
arcade
throw fire at
anonymous over
people.
there.
The,
That's the thing is the
Fucking
more people
fire bolts up the wazoo.
the
Best
more-
10 out of 10. Best cantrip.
Gotta
yes,
cast
but
that
don't
fucking
but
grease,
don't
yo.
take fireball. You want thunderbolt. Just saying.
All right, so yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. This is a bi-weekly podcast, so keep your eyes out. If you like what we do, follow us, and thanks for tuning in, guys.
I don't know what we're
We're
doing.
just gonna keep
I
waving.
don't know.
Bye. Ooh, zany characters. Bye.
Galactic,
Sound guys.
Supreme
Yeah.
Galactic Elite.